If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not right.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
I don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit her with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still in the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motive. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side floor. Gucci a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as could be. You can watch us on YouTube with view for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Another day we get closer to the next Dolphins game.
Wow. You know, it's unbelievable. So, first of all, I had to go to my cardiologist.
How'd that go for you?
Just checkups, because periodically, because I have extra heartbeats or whatever. And so they check them out and they do echocardiogram, and then I go see the cardiologist, and then they, just ask me a bunch of questions or whatever, make sure my heart's still working.
I like your heart to work. I'm a fan of it.
And normally when I'm at rest, my heart rate is about 50 beats a minute, which they all think is crazily low.
So they think you're a corpse.
Right. And so I go in there and she has, all the stuff from all my years at 50, 52, 55 for the last 8 years. I go in there yesterday, 80. She goes, "You doing something different?" And I go, "I've been yelling about the damn Dolphins for 4 hours." And she goes, "Never." She goes, "Never mind."
Everybody understands. He goes, "Let me tell you a little thing about swing passes."
No, I said, we have a quarterback that threw an interception to a parking cone.
Impossible. How did he do that? Do you think Latu will get an interception the rest of his career?
No.
The rest of his career, that man.
Unless a ball gets batted up and he catches it around the line of scrimmage.
No, I'm talking with hands, like he has to go and reach it. I'm not talking about a fluke one. I'm talking a one.
No.
It's crazy.
No, like that deep. Normally, look, there's teams that do zone blitzes where you bring guys off to one side and you drop the backside rush in 5 yards off the ball, right where that guy would be crossing. And it's 50-50 whether he's going to catch it because that ball's moving, right? And they're not used to catching passes like that.
Man.
And so to have that guy catch an interception 20 yards deep, right? How can I put it? If Jalen Phillips caught a ball there, you would ask, why is he there in the first place?
100%.
Right. That's how crazy.
I saw him try to cover Tyler Warren. It didn't go well.
That's how crazy this is. He didn't the pick that was thrown to the defender didn't have to cover anybody. Right? Just if I went and you were walking down the street and they were shooting, or say if you're walking in the tarmac and they're shooting shirts and stuff into the stands or whatever, and you walk by and one accidentally comes, that's what that's like.
Yeah.
It's just a rent. He wasn't even playing defense.
Okay, so just to be clear here, it's day 3 And you're not over it yet. You're just to the point of the second interception.
I am.
I love this.
Here's
No.
why- here's
I
why
love
I'm-
this. I'm
Can I
so
tell you
happy
why
that you're
I'm
reacting
so
like this.
frustrated? Let me tell you why I'm frustrated.
There's more?
No, it's the same thing. I'm just frustrated because, like, how can your claim to fame be creativity on offense?
Mm-hmm.
Yet we've been watching the same damn plays with no nuance.
Well, I think that's the thing that was what infuriated me about him yesterday is he's like, it's a real shame that the game started the way it did, as if he had some master plan that hadn't been unveiled.
Well, and I will give him, look, in all honesty, and being honest about a situation.
Be honest.
When you play a football game, now, so say, for example, if you script the first 10 plays, right? But you don't run your 10th play till the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. You're behind it because there's certain looks that you want to see, so you maybe can make adjustments off of how do they play this formation? How do they play that? And when you script them in the first 10 plays, usually you get them out of the way the first half of the first quarter.
Yeah, I get it. It's like you planned a wedding and a fire started in the middle of it. I get it. Like it's gonna go. You're gonna have to make some adjustments,
right?
But it's I don't know.
And so while I'm saying that, I do understand that having the ball 2.5 minutes in the first quarter does not help any plans that you have offensively.
For sure.
However, here's what I would say about that, and I'm going to be calm about it, right? If you don't have an opportunity to go through your process of figuring out what they're going to do in certain situations, you definitely don't go to something that they've been watching on film.
For sure.
Because now you've wasted more plays because, let's say, the only plays they have to defend and the only plays they have on film, you're running. So I would try my new stuff and then go back to the old stuff, but I definitely wouldn't run the stuff that they got on film.
Oh, they should definitely try some new stuff against Vrabel, for sure. Let's get to headlines brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, home of the Pricito. Our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Good morning, Brittney. How are you?
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Are you excited about this Canes game? I was listening to Cristobal from this week. He seems pretty fired up, although a healthy respect for these USF Bulls coming in.
I think we should have a healthy. I'm happy that I hear that he has a healthy respect for them, because I feel like in the past with other coaches that hasn't necessarily been the case. They say it, but I actually think that he means it. So I'm excited to see what.
I think he means it too. I feel like he means it.
I feel like he means it. I cut up that interview that he had with Joe Rose, and like I was like, okay, let's play tomorrow. Let's go.
I'm ready. No, I can't wait. Byron Brown, though, their quarterback is really good. I mean, I know they gave the Bulls the business last year, but got a lot of experience. He's a dual threat, and I'm always just like experienced. I'm just
the one thing that takes care of dual threats is those two rush ends you have can motor.
Yes,
and they're all over the field. So that'll help with some of that. But all around, they play solid football. They may not have like the 5 stars that Miami has, but they're well coached. They're where they're supposed to be. And it's one of these games. Here's what scares you about these games. That athletically, you're better than them. It's the equivalent to saying 5 stars because you go to a major university versus 3 stars. That being said, being well coached and having a disciplined team keeps you in games so that if the 5 stars do something stupid and give you an opportunity to win, you can take advantage of it. That's what they're hoping for. They're not hoping for sustained drives. They're hoping for turnovers, quick strikes on their offensive end, a big play on special teams. That's how they're going to win this game. if they should happen to win. And we're going to look back on Monday and we're going to talk about the mistakes, not taking them for granted, but the boneheaded mistakes, a swag penalty here and there because it's an in-state game and you've probably played football in high school against some of these guys, something like that. That's if this game ends up being close on Monday morning, that's what we're going to say. Now, if the Canes are poised, as they've been the last couple of weeks, I was impressed against Notre Dame. There weren't any bad penalties. You're going to have penalties, right? But there wasn't any foolishness. There wasn't any swag penalties. There wasn't any, just bad penalties. You're going to have
no, their penalties, even their penalties against Notre Dame were like
football penalties.
Yeah.
Even if, regardless of what you say, like
penalties.
I'm okay if periodically you have a holding penalty. That's football. Or pass interference. That's football. Okay? But what has killed the Canes in years past? Swag penalties, hitting a guy laid out of bounds, just at the worst possible time, and teams have an opportunity to stay in the game. So I'm happy about the fact that they seem to be playing more disciplined football, and sometimes that has to do with you just being good.
No, for sure. I think they feel more complete. Brittney,
Right.
This feels like the more complete Canes team than last year.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. Especially, I mean, the biggest problem that we had last year was our defense, and I think that.
Oh my God! Couldn't stop a nosebleed.
No, it was terrible.
It was terrible.
But we've seen, I think, good stuff from them. They're still obviously the secondary. I don't think is the strongest yet. But I think having Kane is huge.
Everybody was so upset about that one Bethune drive where they gave up some
It's
chunk
a little
plays.
upsetting. I'm not gonna lie. It felt I know it's
understand.
crazy. It's against Bethune and
Weren't they into the second team by then?
yeah.
But- Can I just say this? That
early.
sometimes schematically and just with the scheme and the play calls, you can get on your heels for a period of time. And I give a perfect example. I remember Peyton Manning. They were playing. I forget who they were playing. They ran the same play 5 times, only because the defense didn't have a chance to go to the sideline and adjust to it. And it was just out of the blue. They ran the same little slot fade, and the way they ran it, the defense couldn't adjust to it until they went to the sidelines. Sometimes you get caught in a scheme where you haven't really had a chance to talk about it, and it goes the whole drive. So that's why, you can't get caught up in certain situations during a game sometimes, because everybody's making adjustments and everybody's got their, okay, here's what we're going to go to kind of throw them off. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but if it does, then you just exploit it and you have a good drive. So that's normal.
Dade Sav says the Gators had a bunch of swag penalties against USF. We saw the one.
Exactly. But that's, and you know what? I always question when I see stuff like that. Are you worried about beating them? Are you worried about the talent they have on the other team? Because things like that should never even happen. It's like the guy that gets in your face and starts talking trash. And the response will be, you ain't that guy.
Speaking of spitting, other headlines, Jalen Carter, his ejection is going to serve as his suspension.
Correct.
So that is that came in yesterday.
So he lost his game check.
Yes.
Yep.
So about 57,000 plus for the spitting.
Oh, that's an expensive spit.
It is it's expensive spit, dude. He'll be ready for the Chiefs and Eagles little Super Bowl rematch this week. Fox Game of the Week this year.
I got to tell you, and correct me if I'm wrong. What you're going to see on TV and what you're going to hear about Kansas City, we have said every year for the last 4 years.
Yep.
Is it not the craziest thing?
No, it is. It's the truth. I mean,
the
unless they
same
make
thing every 4 years, they get off to the slow start. They look crappy. They can't score. They're not stopping anybody on defense. And we say this every year. And then when the championship comes, guess who's there?
Yeah, unless they got a blockbuster trade up their sleeve. For whom, I don't know. Maybe Tyreek, maybe somebody else.
You can.
We'll see.
Well, let me ask. This is a question I'm gonna ask you because you know how I feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
Is he like kryptonite right now? Like, who's gonna touch him?
Like he's just radioactive.
Radioactive. Like because listen, nobody questions Tyreek on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But at what point, as an organization, as a coach, as fans, are you gonna look at and go, there's too much weight on this man for him to be productive on the field? And sometimes the reactions that you see, we've all been in situations where we just got a lot on our heads and then something minor will happen and you'll explode and it all comes to a head at the same time. Doesn't everybody feel that way with Tyreek every time you hear a story?
100%. Yeah,
Okay,
no,
so
that's where that I think we got to take a break, but we'll get into that a little bit because there's some other teams besides the Chiefs that are apparently out there. I feel like the other one could make sense just because it feels like they're so all in this year. But we'll take a break. More to come here on the show. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on a Wednesday. Hey, JFig has a stash of Hardy tickets in her boots, and we're giving you a chance to win tickets when Hardy brings his Jim Bob World Tour to the I Think Financial Amphitheater on September 20th.
Jim
Special
Bob.
guests, Jim Bob.
Intangible.
Very much so. He's got special guests Cole Wetzel, Steven Wilson Jr., and Sicarus. So keep on listening to us. We'll give those away later on in the program. This is a Live Nation show. For more information, go to the contest page at WQAM.com, as the Miami Dolphins will be back in action on Sunday for their home opener. I saw that the rivalry uniforms, I think, went on sale today. Gotta imagine that last week did not help with sales.
I think people like cool gear
People do like cool gear, but
because now it helps if you're winning. That it definitely helps with sales. But if you have a unique uni coming out, people will still purchase it. I remember when the orange jerseys, when they wore the orange jerseys,
Ricky.
people went crazy. No, I'm talking about even for the Browns.
Okay.
People went crazy and they were terrible, right? So
I understand.
Like there's a couple of teams though that can't really have, like, what's Detroit Lions?
They go black. That's what their thing has been.
Yeah, but black, like I'm over black uniforms.
Everybody does black.
I think the coolest uniforms are the white.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bills did them this year, but I think the Vikings look cooler. Just like that metallic neon purple they do with it.
Right.
It just looks cooler. You know?
And Seattle kind of they got the what neon green on lock.
Yep.
Nobody else could put that in their uniforms, and they've done it, and they come out with it. But there's certain teams that just really.
Yeah, the only other team that does like neon green, I think, is the Timberwolves these days. Every once in a while, they'll bust those out. They're a little weird looking. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know what I think. I think the Heat are going back to Vice Knights this year. That's the word.
I think they're going back to the black ones, like the original ones.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, how about you win a couple of games and then those uniforms really pop?
Agreed.
You know what? Because guess what? Is it ever possible for the Washington Wizards to have the coolest uniforms in the league?
No.
Right. I don't care what they do. You can't.
I like I mean, you know me. I'm a bit of a sucker for the 90s. That's what I like for everything, pretty much.
I wish the Jazz, I think the Jazz should change their name.
I don't even know what the Jazz are doing these days. You know what the Jazz remind me of? The Jazz remind me of
they have mountains on their the mountains.
They
just doesn't fit.
They used to do that. Now it's just like black with like highlighter yellow. It's weird. It's like, you know what it reminds me? It reminds me of like when the Padres were going from like orange to like blue, and then the Padres were just like blue. I'm like, are you guys like the West Coast Yankees? Like, what happened here? You guys just gave up on uniforms, and then now I like them. They kind of went back to the old school 70s Padres with the brown and the yellow.
Right.
Like, it's
who else does that? Just has like random. Is it the so Utah has like just mountains and stuff. So does Denver. Like they got like
Denver's very into their elevation.
Downtown. Right.
Yeah, they're very into, this is a mile high. I'm like, we get you guys.
Right.
No, it's so obnoxious. Like everything about like Denver is always they have the what is it, the mileage on the court. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we get it. Like, it's cheating. It's illegal air. That's their biggest advantage.
Well, you should be able to breathe good where I'm from, because we're below sea level.
Dude, that's crazy. I was watching that documentary you talked about, and it really blew my mind.
Just think, that's where I grew up.
That's crazy.
It looks like a third world country.
It's crazy. I don't even.
And you can't even, because when you watch it, when you think about what you heard or what was being reported, and now you see 20 years later and you go, that's not what's going on. So yeah, man. I still, even when I think about it, because just imagine your mom or somebody has to leave their town because of catastrophe, and you can't get a hold of them for like 2 weeks.
Oh, it was like a nightmare. I mean, I couldn't imagine your family going through that.
So every day, it took my mom
And the fact they were sending people all over the city to different places,
All
and
over
it's like
the country.
all
My
over the
brother was
country.
in Arkansas.
No,
I
but
had another family in San Antonio.
I'm just talking about like the first days. I'm just like, they're like, oh yeah, go here. I'm like, whoa, like what are you supposed to
Bring
do?
them to high ground.
It's crazy, man.
That's it, high ground. Like before you get them out of state, high ground. Because if you didn't take them to high ground, then you couldn't follow up and get them out of the state because you couldn't travel. So like, yeah, they were just dropping people off on the highway. So yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It's a 4.5 hour drive from New Orleans to Houston. It took my mom 36 hours.
Oh my goodness.
They had gas trucks like gassing people up on the highway.
That's wild. That's a crazy thing. We'll take a break here. Get back into some more things on the other side. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. The channel 104.3 WQAM on YouTube. Miami 104.3 WQAM on Twitch. Take a break. Back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 WQAM. We'll take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Champion boxer Mike Tyson is bringing his Return of the Mike show to the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood this December. You get stories and more from Iron Mike. And we got your chance to win tickets. Just text the word IRON, IRON, IRON to 20357. Text IRON to 20357. For more information, go to WQM.com. It's a text contest. Message and data rates may apply. Don't text and drive. Tickets also available for purchase at casino.hardrock.com/Hollywood/events. Of course, we got a monster boxing weekend ahead. Goosies galore as the big-time matchup in Las Vegas. Terrence Crawford going up to 168 pounds to try and beat Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. It's Goosies galore. Brittney, this is your F1. This is exactly what this is for me. This is what this weekend is.
Is it really?
Whatever the grandest of F1s is, that's what this weekend is for me in boxing. Okay?
Ooh.
So if you could have like Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon.
Nope.
If
No,
you could
that's
have
not
those-
F1.
Nope.
Oh, I apologize. If you could have Tony Stewart and you could
No.
Nope.
have, who am I talking about?
Lewis Hamilton,
Right. If you
Verstappen.
if you could have Verstappen versus
Schumacher.
Jimmy Johnson, I'm telling you right now, that's what this fight is this weekend. That's what this fight is this weekend.
Hey, you know what's funny is Brittney. He will go out of his way to ruin every other sport, every other thing he likes.
Right?
But he has never looked down on me more than when I had a cocktail at a fight
Deserved.
because he thought I was embarrassing him and we were ringside.
It was the UFC, dude. The UFC hadn't been to South Florida in so long, and here
So
we
you were
are.
like- You were working?
No, they had a bar right next to us.
Hold on. Technically, we weren't like on the clock, but we were members of the media. We were there on press row, Brittney, and he and B sit down there, and they're like going down to the drink cart right by the ring.
It was right next to the ring. What
I
did
can't
they say?
agree with Tobin on this one. You're on the job. You can't do that.
Telling you, dude, it was crazy.
He's upset now.
It was crazy. They also left. You guys left by like the co-main event. You were out.
Oh yeah, it was.
I think you saw like one knockout, and you were like, because I do remember with that card. I think the main event changed like 4 times.
Right.
It was I think it was Jack Hermanson and Jacare Souza. It was supposed to be Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa, I think, if my memory serves, and it changed like 4 times. It was crazy. I was like, we're never gonna, and I really was like, we're never gonna get the UFC back. I thought we were sunk, but it was actually a really good card, and it was a really good turnout. But no, Brittney, like this is exactly like if Verstappen and the other Hamilton fella, if they had a one-on-one race
Only one.
but for all the marbles. But imagine
Yeah,
imagine
it's
if Lewis
2021
Hamilton,
Abu Dhabi. I get what
right?
you're saying.
Imagine if Lewis Hamilton never could race Verstappen, right? They were in separate weight classes. And then Verstappen's like, guess what? I'm going to go ride a monster truck and take on Gravedigger. That's what this is. This is Terrence Crawford stepping up in weight to take on Canelo Alvarez. Canelo's never been knocked out. Terrence Crawford, undefeated, never lost. And he's going up 3 weight classes for this fight. It's
Can I tell you what it is, Brittney?
I'm listening.
It's the equivalent to the guys that do the Coca-Cola 600 and then go do the Indy race that night. There's always a couple of guys.
I will say I'm not very I'm not very big on combat sports, but I do know who Terrence Crawford is, and I do know who Canelo Alvarez is. So I understand that this is a big deal. Don't you?
And it's on Netflix. You don't
Wow.
have to pirate it. You can just watch it on Netflix.
It's on Saturday.
Yes.
Oh, I have
That's
a
mu-
game. Maybe
I
I'll
would
get
say
home.
that's must-watch TV because those are the 2 biggest names in boxing.
Oh,
Right?
it's
huge. Canelo for 10 years could do no wrong. The only time I've ever heard a crowd root for the other guy was Munguia and then
That
he
turned.
gave.
That turned after he got sent to the canvas.
You're right.
I think it's because a lot of Mexican fans think that like Canelo's not a sellout, but they just think they were rooting for the underdog. It's kind of like I think it was part of the culture there. It's like
we had a couple of guys root for Errol Spence. Like when Terrence Crawford fought Errol Spence, there was a lot of people that thought Errol Spence had a chance.
Dude, no, that was supposed to be like a 50-50 fight. The odds were super close for that fight, and everybody was like, they had their arguments. And people were saying the same thing. They were like, "Oh, Spence is too big. He's coming up in weight." And I mean, I haven't watched a throttling like that of just people thinking a fight's going to be close, and it wasn't close. It was so good. It was one of the best performances I've ever seen in person. And I don't know. I don't think he's going to knock Canelo out, but there's part of me that feels like that's what's going to happen this weekend.
He's just going to piece him up.
I think he's going to piece him up.
He's basically going to Floyd Mayweather.
I think he can hurt him more than Floyd Mayweather can hurt him, but I don't think he can knock him out. I think he can. I definitely think he could really put a beating on Canelo. I just think that he's got so many weapons at his disposal, and everybody's talking about the size thing, and I don't know. I just don't. Canelo's not a very big 168 guy. Like he's fought light heavyweights. Like there was crazy talk after Canelo beat Kovalev. Everyone's like, "Oh, he could go up to heavyweight." I'm like, dude, he's 5'8". Like, come on, we got to calm down with this. So,
is this when? I mean, besides the Fury fights, like I can't think of a fight that's been this big that, like, you can honestly say you never thought would happen. Because all the other fights that you thought needed to happen and were big, they happened too late.
I was pretty surprised that Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis fought. I was pretty surprised. I mean, like, Tank made him drain, but I thought those guys were gonna just like circle each other forever and never fight.
Right.
And then Haney fighting Ryan Garcia. Like I was surprised that those guys. I will give them all credit. They did fight. Now Ryan Garcia did cheat in one of those fights, but it's But I am surprised that those guys actually ended up fighting. But I have been thinking about that. I'm like, well, when this fight happens, I don't really know what the big fights are anymore. I got to be honest with you. Like, I do think we're a little, because I think Crawford might retire.
That's the thing. That's the thing that worries. Like, Canelo loves fighting. He loves the pomp and circumstance of fighting around Cinco de Mayo. It's like there's 2 or 3 times a year where it's Canelo's weekend, right? But Terrence, he's like, I'm done, right?
Yeah.
Like like, yeah. So I don't know, man.
I was listening to Andre Ward and Roy Jones break it down, and it was
who's going to come back. Andre Ward's going to fight again.
I don't think so.
No,
I think
he keeps teasing.
He's true to his word. He's on the broadcast this weekend. The broadcast is check this out. It's John Anik, voice of the UFC. He's blow by blow with Andre Ward and finally making his return, Max Kellerman.
Oh wow!
Max Kellerman is finally
Where
back.
He
was you know how Hawks is about shadow banning? I think he was shadow banned by Stephen A. Smith.
Okay.
I think he was I don't know if he was on a non-compete or what. Yeah, he hasn't done anything. It's been crazy.
Right.
But Max Kellerman is finally back. So I am that's a great broadcast crew. I think that I think Andre Ward's probably the best analyst in the game now. It was Roy.
To have Anik and Kellerman, are they not going to bump heads because they both are like, you know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think it's kind of like Kellerman's like the Larry Merchant, like it's so
he's going to have a scorecard?
I don't know. That's a good question. Nobody was better than. I'm sorry. I meant Larry. Yeah, Larry Merchant, Harold Letterman. I meant. Oh man, nobody was better. Okay, Jim. I got this fight. 6 rounds to 2. Go ahead. Back to you, Jim.
You know what? I can't imagine. Like early on, like when Muhammad Ali and all those guys were fighting when I was really young. How everybody was smoking during the fight.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's how it was when I went to my last fight at Hialeah Racetrack.
Like no, but I'm saying like in the the fans.
Burt
you
Sugar.
had some of the Burt Sugar. Like, yeah, he was always smoking.
Dade South says the Dolphins turned Leroy into Max Yellerman. He was very upset.
Let me tell you.
Very upset.
Hey, you could call me a yeller. You could call me whatever you want. But I'm telling you this. Everything that I said to you yesterday is factual. And if you sit back and think about it, when the same play is the play that you get picked off on all the time, I mean, you think about the situation, the circumstance. They're in a tough spot from this standpoint. The plays that used to work don't work anymore. And you're terrified to go to a 5-step, 7-step drop to kind of let a play develop more for whatever reason. Protection. They don't throw the ball outside the numbers, although I think Tua used to do it. And here's the kicker. If you had that much question about the strength of his arm that he can't throw it outside the numbers, you should not have paid him, and you should have been fine with it. So if you paid him, then I'm just going to make the assumption you don't have a problem with his ability to throw the football. He might not have the strongest arm, but you can throw a timing throw outside. I played with a quarterback who had an arm similar to Tua's, and he was just fine with the timing of his throws. So don't tell me you can't do it. Drew Brees, not known as a guy who had a strong arm. Wait, who? Everybody loved Chad Pennington.
They did love Chad Pennington.
Oh, guess what he wasn't known as?
Never got $50 million, though.
I mean, but we're here. Let's not confuse how much a guy gets paid with how good he is.
Yeah, but you just said that they shouldn't have paid him. Like, it is
Well,
part of the deal.
because if
when
they
you
didn't
pay
think
it,
he-
when you pay a quarterback,
they
you
didn't think he was good enough. Okay, but I'm saying once you say he's a starting quarterback, that means you accept his skill set and say, I can move forward with this guy.
Right.
If you have questions about any of that, then you just bite the bullet. Sorry. Now, I don't have a problem. I don't have questions about Tua's arm strength. Right? Now, it looks that way by where they make him throw the ball, but you got to have a pretty strong arm to throw that quick bubble screen and get it out there quick enough so that the guy can run with it.
Take a break here on the program. Can't believe that that boxing got hijacked by Tua Talk again. Damn it.
I know. I'm sorry. It's just eating at dude. It's been eating.
I know it's eating at you.
I gotta wear a damn heart monitor. It's eating at me.
Sitting here, I just wanted one little break of it. Take it over. It's consuming our life.
Oh, what about the first part of that conversation when you start talking about racing to Brittney to try to include?
I was trying to lure her in.
Oh, what if? Whoa, hold on. What if Lewis Hamilton said, "You know what? I'm going to go race monster trucks"?
Yeah,
it really makes some damn sense.
I think it did make sense. I thought it was a good analogy. No, I think it made sense.
No, it didn't.
No,
There's several types of racing. It would have been
if
he would have went and raced NASCAR or something like that. Still racing,
but even still, then like F1 is like a tier above all those things.
Well, I
so
mean,
like he's really at the peak of it all.
Well, and keep in mind that NASCAR, you got to be basically strong as an ox to turn the damn car because it's so much different.
Right.
Yeah.
And
everything
else is digital. All the other cars are digital.
Yeah, I was just giving respect to the F1 greats like Richard Petty. You know, like I'm just going out here and I'm trying to, I was trying to lure things out there. You know.
You know damn well when that cowboy hat, that dude did not race Formula One. Formula One guys show up in suits and Armani and stuff like that.
They're so rich. It's
yes.
crazy.
I know. It's almost like, I guess I will race today. Let me get in the car. Like the frightened.
Talk about, what's the guy's name from
I forget his name.
Oh my gosh, freak, what's his name?
Talladega Nights.
Yes. Formula
take a break. Back after this. Just a regular old second hour here on Tobin and Leroy. Run-of-the-mill second hour of the program, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it's going to go now. That is how it is going to be. Ricky Williams is going to join the show today. Ricky's going to stop by around 1 o'clock. He'll make us feel better, right?
Yeah, I like talk. I've always liked talking to Ricky.
When I started, when we booked this, I did not expect the Dolphins to get KO'd, the way that they did, but he'll still make us feel better, right?
Yeah.
What do you think he's gonna be like? Woof.
No, he'll definitely be wolf. But I think a lot of players, when they talk about games and stuff, they immediately go to effort, to unprepared, and to, those words, when I think sometimes your situation makes it look that way, even though that's not what it is. That's just a go-to thing, For example, you had the ball 2 plus minutes in the first quarter. Because you didn't do anything, it's going to look like no effort. Because you didn't really have an opportunity.
I like Dade South's suggestion. Got to ask Ricky what his resting heart rate is. I want to compare heart rates between you and Ricky.
You think he even knows?
I don't know. I don't know.
The only reason why I had to start getting mine checked over and over again, because they said it was really low.
Yeah. But didn't you say that was a thing you've had since you were playing?
Yeah.
Weird.
Everybody thought, think about this. I didn't realize till after my 7th year in the NFL that I held my breath when I ran. So I always thought, why am I so tired? I work out all summer. And then I did that Gatorade thing where you go and they test you and they run you and whatever. And then the guy goes, just very matter-of-factly, you hold your breath when you sprint. I'm like, that would explain a lot. And by the time I figured it out, my body was so broke down, it didn't matter.
Damage was done.
Yeah.
Let's get the headlines. Brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, home of the Pricito. Our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. I know you all are waiting. Finland is up on Georgia right now in the quarterfinals of EuroBasket, 59-42.
Wait. Georgia?
Georgia. Yeah, the country. Yes.
Anybody we know play for Georgia?
Oh, man. Let me look real quick. I don't know. Merab Dvalishvili?
Isn't that a fighter?
Yeah, but he's from Georgia. It's the only guy I know.
And he's what, 5'6"?
I don't even think he's 5'6". Let's see, their leading scorer right now is Tornike Şengala.
Any relation to Şengün?
Nope. Şengün is Turkish.
I would have never get. Listen, you know what? We could put an NBA roster together and it just be guess what country, right? Because I would have never guessed Şengün was from Turkey.
They got some names on here, dude. The one guy's...
Could you imagine being an announcer? Well, you get no. You know what? I'm not going to even say that because you get the fight names right.
This one shakes me. His name is Duda Sananzi.
Duda. So he's basically the beginning of a song.
Duda.
Duda. You think if he played here, how you think Mike Biamane would Duda for two?
Eric Reed goes, all the Duda day. Let's go. Lauri Markkanen has 13 points for Finland, but they're they've been hammers so far. They upset Serbia. If they win this, the bracket, they were waiting the winner, I believe, of Slovenia, Germany, which is tonight. Well, it's actually this afternoon. It's tonight over there. What is the? Yeah, that gets going at 2:00 local time here. Slovenia, Germany. So those two winners will face Turkey and Greece. So Şengün versus Giannis in the other semifinal, Leroy.
How many people you think lost money because they bet whoever played Georgia?
You mean Serbia?
No, throughout the whole tournament.
Oh, throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Good question. I don't know.
That's like saying, oh, yeah, we betting against Bosnia.
Who did they beat? Who did Georgia beat to get here?
That's what I'm saying. Do they automatically?
Oh, they beat France.
Wow.
France. There's a lot of upsets in this EuroBasket, man. I'm telling you.
I mean,
Duda has the ball.
what if he shoots a brick and they go,
Oh, a three by Duda.
Oh, I was gonna say, what if he shot a three and bricked it, and they go, do.
Real mature.
You know, if he came to Miami, they go, do.
The Miami Dolphins, if you missed the news yesterday, they placed James Daniel on IR. They added Cole Strange to the active roster. He was a former Patriots first-round pick. Hey, we need one of them revenge games, Cole Strange.
Two Coles, Cole Swider and Cole Strange.
We don't have Cole Swider anymore.
I mean, I'm just saying. That played down here.
Yeah.
How many Coles you're going to run into in your life? We ran into 2 in the last couple of years.
Norris Cole.
No, first name.
Didn't J. Cole, didn't he find us Caleb Martin?
First name.
I didn't know if Jay was like artistic.
His real name is Jermaine.
Oh, is his last name Cole?
Yeah, Jermaine Cole.
J. Cole is cooler.
Yeah.
I think that's why he went with it.
And I would say this. Nothing says intangible like Cole for a first name.
Well, he's back. So he's on the team now. They got him from the Browns practice squad. And obviously, you wish James Daniels the speedy recovery, but he's on IR, and it's a pec injury, and I feel like you need that to be a guard.
Pec injury. Man, usually when you hear pec injury, it's torn, which means you need surgery. And how many times you see a guy reach, boom, pec,
Not good.
out for the year.
Yeah, that feels like that's a pretty common lineman injury, yeah?
Yeah, but kind of weird for an offensive lineman because you're supposed to have your hands in here. You're not supposed to be grabby. I mean, but like, holy smokes, dude. When are we going to learn?
I don't know.
Every time you bring in an injured player, what happens?
Schmeathan says Cole from Martin boxed in Leroy.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, a character nonetheless.
Yep.
How could you forget that?
Wow. You really just went.
What?
I'm supposed to know all the black shows and all the names and stuff like that.
I'm just saying that I'm just saying that Dade South and Schmeathan are boxing you in, dude.
No.
That's it.
All
I
right.
don't know what to tell you.
Uh,
They're disappointed more than I am.
one of the most fun that I've had with my uncle when he was with us was we went to the Pro Bowl and we played spades with Tisha Campbell and Dwayne Martin for probably 4 hours.
Really?
And yeah, and he wasn't a drinker. And here's all you need to know about Hawaii: pig, pineapple, macadamia nuts.
That's what they got.
But the pineapples are unbelievable.
Don't forget the chickens. They have a lot of chickens.
And they put the pineapples on top of Mai Tais. So I had a Mai Tai, and my uncle's like, can she just bring a little cup of pineapples? She said, those are for the drinks. So he started drinking to get the pineapple.
Wait, so what?
Off the top. Yes. When we got done, I had to almost carry his butt to the room because he didn't drink.
That's crazy.
It was. Oh, I said, I said,
So how much were the
You're
pineapples
dumb.
soaking it?
they just freshly cut pineapples on the top, but they were so good.
That's great.
So I'm like, let me get this straight. You spending $10 a pop on a pineapple wedge.
It's
When you
incredible.
can you can go down the street. There's
We
little
were at that
huts
point.
that
At
sell
that
them.
point, we weren't moving. We were locked into that
Like, it's
hotel.
Hawaii, you can find pineapples anywhere. You don't have to buy my.
I know. Again, I know, but we had the spade table and we wasn't getting up. And
Amazing.
that's kind of how that went.
After I went to Hawaii, I've never had a pineapple ever again.
What?
Just because they're just not worth it.
Just because it's not the same.
Dude,
It's not.
I cannot explain to you how good these pineapples are.
Better than Publix.
Like I like pineapple.
Toby,
Like,
this
I
is
like
fair.
I like pineapples, and I'll have pineapples. Whenever if I see some, I'll get. Dude, like, not even close.
I'm telling you,
It's
I
like
don't
a
eat
different fruit almost.
Nope. I don't eat
Crazy.
pineapple on the motherland, like I like to say.
Motherland.
This is the motherland because it's an island, so we're the motherland.
Okay,
Mm.
I got you. All right.
How would you guys like to see have the chance to have a Pro Bowl Miami football player come and visit an elementary school of your choice? Could happen. It's WQM's MVP experience with the Dolphins. Zach, sealer it on up. He's on board to
You
speak at
don't
the
do
school.
thumbs up, Brittney.
First up, I was drinking, number one. Number two, you were really off, so you have no room to criticize me.
He's on board to speak at the school. Go to WQM.com. Enter an elementary school in Broward or Dade for your chance to get a visit from Zach Sealer. We'll speak to the students and more. Contest rules, go to WQM.com. Take a break. More to come here on just a regular old Tobin and Leroy second hour. Back after this. Sorry, I was listening to Mike McDaniel yammer. Apologize for the delay, everybody.
I was literally like, wait, where'd you go?
I apologize.
I didn't realize.
I was like, well, I'm back. Yeah, he was just talking about how mad he was because some people missed their assignments. Great. Fix it, dude. Whatever. Leroy's just hopped away. He's going to do his Cleveland hit. That is started back up. Jay Crawford's got to get his time. Ooh. Jay Crawford. Leroy, what do you think of Joe Flacco? I don't know why I made him sound like that. That's not what Jay Crawford sounds like. But am I jealous that he goes off to see Jay Crawford, once a week during football? A little bit. Former First Take host, Cold Pizza, Jay Crawford, loves LeBron. Loves Cleveland.
We get him for 4 hours a day.
That's true. I mean, it's true. I only have to lose him for
you're doing better than him.
I'm trying. I do. Brittney,
you're for 4 hours.
You're right. You're right.
He gets him for what, 10 minutes?
Exactly. Let's get to we're gonna get to some Kane stuff here in just a second, but I want to let you guys know one more time about Mike Tyson, who's bringing his Return of the Mike show to the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood this December. You get stories and more from Iron Mike, and we got your chance to win tickets. Just text the word IRON to 20357, as in Iron Mike, IRON, IRON to 20357. For more information, I know Shmeeth and Shmolek's looking for this. Go to WQAM.com. It's a text contest. Message and data rates may apply. Don't text and drive. And those tickets also available for purchase, Shmeeth, and at casino.hardrock.com/Hollywood/events. So just letting you guys know, all right? Get that on out there. Also, we got to get to a little bit of sports talk here, because Sports Talk on WQM is sponsored by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game every Sunday and all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $2.50 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. So check that on out. The Canes, though, they're getting ready to take on USF. It's on the CW for everybody who's looking for it on television. So
has there ever been a more anticipated matchup on the CW?
I don't think so. I don't even know if I get the CW. I'm not even sure
Who
if
gets the CW?
You can get that with rabbit ears, right? Like I have rabbit ears, so I feel like I can get that.
You told me about that like 2 weeks ago. I didn't even know that was still the thing. So
the CW, is that the same where the Panthers are on, or the Panthers technically on? But they're on Scripps Sports. Is Scripps Sports, is that the same? Are those different?
You're asking the wrong gal.
Look, I know one thing. You can listen to it right here on WQAM. All right, Joe Zagacki, Don Bailey Jr. have your call. You'll get all that coverage. It's a 4:30 kickoff. So what they'll start at? Was it 4? Is that a noon coverage?
Noon
coverage. Hollywood and Brian Monroe will get you ready. The whole crew. Victor Bermuda is producing the broadcast, and then of course Donna will have your post-game action there. But this has become a juicy game. I'm curious, Brittney, what do you think the crowd's going to be like for this one? Because
I think it's going to be pretty big. I'm not going to lie to you.
I feel like the fans should be really juiced up for this. I know there's because I know everybody's looking forward to next week because that's the UF.
Yes.
So. But I'm sure there's plenty of fans who just bought season tickets to get the UF and the Notre Dame game. I got to feel like this is going to be a pretty juiced up atmosphere. It's not like it's at noon. It's right in the middle in the afternoon. I feel like this should be another monster crowd.
I think it's going to be a pretty good crowd. I don't think you're going to get as good of a crowd as obviously Notre Dame or, as you're going to get for UF. But I think I hope at least, because I think we have a good home field advantage when we have a good crowd,
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be to capacity either, because I do feel like it's still loud in there if there's, just the right amount of people. But I feel like there's going to be a big turnout.
Is there a theme this week? Are we doing I know we did an orange out for Notre Dame. Are we doing anything different? You can't do green because that's their color. Are they doing a whiteout this week?
That would be
That's also kind of their color.
Their away jerseys are white, I believe. USF's.
All right, yeah, we can't pull the Gators.
So we might have to just do another orange out.
All right, we'll just do more orange. Throw in some more orange, and we'll get that going. Let's hear a little from Mario Cristobal. This was him on USF quarterback Byron Brown, who is very, very talented, and a lot of people are starting to say he's a Heisman sleeper. He's a senior, young senior though, for USF. Very, very explosive dual threat, good runner, but can make some big throws as well. And so the Canes not exactly going to have a rookie quarterback like they did week 1 with him. And, of course, he's got the experience from last year as well. So here's what Chris had to say on him.
I think what doesn't get talked about enough is the fact that I think he leads the country in most consecutive passes without throwing an interception. And he could throw it all. I mean, the deep ball is phenomenal deep ball by him. The quick game, the intermediate game, the off-script plays, hard to contain, hard to bring down. He combines the best of both worlds of the college, modern day quarterback. So, and he's a big dude too. He sees the field really, really well. I don't think he ever gets phased. I thought he put an exclamation point on one of his plays against Boise when, he ran through. He came free on that one particular scramble, and he could have glided into the end zone, but he made it a point to go and put a hit on the defender. So he's a winner, and he's tough, and he's physical, smart. So great football player.
Listen, if Mario Cristobal is throwing a tough, if he's tough, that's the ultimate respect.
Yeah. I don't know. I just sense like a little fear in his voice.
I don't think I don't know. He just doesn't throw that word around willy-nilly. Tough.
He doesn't. No, he's spoken very highly of this USF team. Apparently, I saw, in his interview with Joe Rose earlier this week, he said that their quarterback has not thrown an interception or turned over the ball in like 200 and something attempts. I can't, it's insane. That's
very impressive. He's going to take care, especially on the road. That's a monster. Like if you can keep control of the ball, that's something the Canes got to be.
Just keep the ball.
I mean, they really smoked him in the second half last year.
Yeah, that first half of that game was scary.
Cam Moore put up monster numbers, and then he started doing the whole "I'm going to run through you" and all that type of stuff, or we're going to run the ball right here. But that was definitely a close game at halftime. I mean, you look at the final score; they put up a 50 burger on them, and you're like, that game wasn't scary. But here was McCristobal on the quarterback matchup because both Carson Beck and Byron Brown have been very good at protecting the ball.
Yeah, these guys aren't throwing bubble passes all day. Again, they're pushing the ball down the field, in the form of play action, the form of just drop back. Third down percentage is really high for both. And plays under pressure, completions under pressure are high for both as well. So, again, that position, when it has experience and has talent and has a lot of want to, it's a dangerous combination, and both quarterbacks are really highly skilled, highly experienced, and they want to win. So it's going to be an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun game. I think, look, it is a shame. I know that we were all looking forward to the Gators matchup, which still isn't going to have meaning because, F that school. But I think, I think in a way it's good that they got this win because I do feel like the look ahead goes away. I always worry about, is there going to be a case where the Canes are going to get trapped by a game early on? And now I feel like, this team has beaten 2 ranked teams to start. Now they're ranked. They're still 18-point dogs, I think, at the moment, or when I checked this morning. Yeah. So, nobody really thinks they have a chance. But I think it puts the Canes on high alert. Hey, no bull bleep.
Yeah, again, like you said, it takes away the look ahead because I feel like past teams would feel like, okay, you have UF and then you have Florida State pretty much right after that, even though you have a bye week in between. I feel like they would look ahead to that and not really take USF seriously. But with them beating UF last week, it definitely puts more emphasis on this game. Because if you get a win over both those teams and a most likely undefeated Florida State, you're in a really good position.
No, they're going to be in a strong place, and that's the thing is, and then we get to the vaunted ACC, which of course there's going to be an NC State or a North Carolina or a Georgia Tech that I'm going to be terrified of. That'll ruin my season. But
yes,
not that I'm scarred or anything like that. But I do think that this. I think the one thing is I've been excited about. We come into this year worried about the defense. Obviously, they showed up pretty damn good against Notre Dame. Got a little scary there at the end, but they looked good. The wide receivers. They're like, hey, you're losing a lot of firepower. I'm like, I don't know. CJ Daniels, that dude's got hands for days. He looks incredible. I know Mario's been chasing him forever. Malachi Tony, say hello to my little friend. He's been doing awesome. So I don't know. I think the receiving core looks a lot better than I thought it would, Brittney.
I agree because it it was a concern of mine last year. It wasn't a great receiving core last year. If like they were like Isaiah Horton was very good, and obviously we had Restrepo, but those are like reliable guys. And I feel like there was a lot of times that they didn't make catches that they needed to. And what I've seen from this receiving core is they're making the catches, especially CJ Daniels, which I think he's a huge addition to this team. But what I'm excited to see, and I think we've held back on the last 2 games, is the running game, because we have yet to see a lot from Lyle, and he was a massive, part of our team last year.
Is he banged up? Like, is he going to be good to go?
So apparently he is banged up, and that's why he hasn't played. But I don't think it's anything of major seriousness. So I think he's kind of like they're holding him back for these next couple of games where it's okay, we're going to let you rest up a little bit, and then we're going to unleash the beast, against the USF, the UFs, and the FSUs.
All right, we'll take a break here on the program. When we come back, Mike McDaniel's giving some updates. We'll mix it on up with the mixed bag. And we got some, unfortunately, some not great news as far as the line. Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Want to let you guys know we got Hardy tickets to give away. JFig has a stash of Hardy tickets in her boots, and we're giving you a chance to win those as Hardy brings his Jim Bob World tour to the I Think Financial Amphitheater on September 20th with special guests Cole Wetzel and Stephen Wilson Jr. and Sickerus. So keep on listening for details on how you could win. It's a Live Nation show. For more info, go to the contest page at WQAM.com. Ricky Williams going to join the program today, scheduled to join us around 1 o'clock. We should talk to the former Dolphins' great running back and have some fun with him. But in the meanwhile, let's get to the mixed bag. I will start off with this. First off, Stephen A. Smith had Paul Feinbaum on First Take. And Feinbaum apparently he was trying to weasel out of all his Arch Manning bluster before the season, calling him the greatest quarterback that's ever graced the field. And Stephen A. wasn't having it. Here was First Take.
I have been leading the parade on Arch Manning. We all know that. I'm backing up a little bit.
Thank you.
I am not that impressed with when I visit your studio, Stephen A., I get a little smarter. And that happened last week. And the bottom line is Arch Manning is not playing like an elite quarterback. He's barely playing like a pedestrian quarterback. He had some good plays in that game, but that game doesn't mean anything, and he's not going to really get a chance for a couple of weeks. But ultimately, I think we all jumped the gun. Is he in the Heisman race? No. Arch Manning is not in the Heisman race as of today.
Mr. Paul Feinbaum, my brother. Speak for yourself. I didn't jump the gun. There's a whole bunch of people that didn't jump the gun. You did, having him penciled into some Heisman finalists before he played the game this season. Now, that wasn't us.
Wow, boxed him in. He's right. I'm glad somebody held this Paul Feinbaum's feet to the fire. I know exactly, Stephen A. Smith isn't always like the beacon of accountability. But I enjoyed that very much because this Paul Feinbaum tries to weasel his way in and out too much.
He knew it too. He was fumbling over his words.
Yep. We know what you said.
We know what you said.
Have you seen the Arch Manning conspiracies that have been going around, Brittney?
No, there's Arch Manning conspiracies?
Yeah, there's conspiracy videos going around of he looks like he's grimacing when he throws. People are suspecting injury.
Yes, actually, I have seen that. He did, in the last game they played, he did have like a throw where he was like...
Yeah.
But... Or is it all just a ruse because he knows he's not playing well?
Hey, maybe it is. Maybe he's like, it hurts so bad. I don't know. But Steve Sarkisian was asked about this, and he took great umbrage with somebody even asking about the Arch Manning injury.
Arch Manning seemed to be having some throwing pains by the
According to
quarter.
who?
Arch.
Arch said that to you?
No.
Oh, according to who?
It just looked like he was...
He doesn't have any.
Is there an explanation to why it looked like that?
I don't know. I've never filmed any of you guys when you're using the bathroom, so I don't know what faces you make when you're doing that.
In the middle, Roger.
Sark, you talk.
Oh my God! Listen, that was college coaches, man. Especially that sounds like a very young reporter. I'm guessing he writes for the Longhorn or something like that. He sounds like a wee lad. He's asking a perfectly reasonable question.
It's a perfectly reasonable question.
It's a perfectly reasonable question. Hey, it looks like he's uncomfortable. According to who?
Did Arch tell you that?
Our eyes, dude? I don't know.
The internet? There's videos on the internet. I would have been like, here, let me show you this video. Steve, let me show you.
Look, I don't know why this is such a crazy. I don't know why this is such a crazy thing. People notice things with their eyes all the time. Sometimes I put boots on the ground, Brittney, and I've asked questions, in the locker room and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. Athletes, coaches, they do not like when you think you've seen an injury that they didn't report. They're not fans of that.
Yeah.
They are not fans of that.
Just you immediately look super guilty when you become defensive.
Yeah. I remember, who I did this once when I was really starting to cover sports down here. One of my first things, I would go to Marlins games from time to time because Frito, our former weekend host, Josh Freeman, would be doing a weekend show. He goes, hey, do you want to cover the Marlins this weekend? Because we had him on the station. I was like, yeah, sure. I love the Marlins. And I remember it was opening weekend. I remember John Baker. We had this catcher, John Baker, funny guy on Twitter. He had like a stint of a couple months, but he ultimately flamed out. But this dude, he took his first throw of the season to try and throw out a runner. This dude, I mean, it looked like he had a little leaguer arm. I'm like, what? And he wasn't like that. I was like, this is weird. That's strange. So I went and asked him afterwards, like, hey, is your arm okay? And he was like, he gave me the death stare. And I was probably like 22, 23. Ooh. And he's like, I'm fine, dude. I'm like, you're sitting here. It looks like your arm is made out of pastrami. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, sorry. That happened with me and Bam one time.
Really?
One time, yes. He didn't get mad, but he was very dismissive. Bam Adebayo, and this is really Bam's only significant injury. He like jumps up during a game and something happened. I believe he hit his thumb on the rim. I could just notice, like, I've watched this guy play. It was like you noticed during the game, like he was flexing his hand. And I asked him afterwards, I was like, hey, is your hand okay? And he's like, I'm fine. Out for 3 weeks.
No, they're so ridiculous. It's like everyone can see, especially in the day and age of social media. We all can see it. Okay. One person has to notice it, rewind their TV, take a little video of it, and it's all over the place, especially with how much people are talking about Arch Manning. So it's like, in a couple weeks, Steve, I better not see an injury report about Arch Manning. Okay. I better not see it.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, like he's, how do you know? Do we film you when you go to the bathroom? Like, what kind of argument is that? What are you, a child?
Yeah, like, also, what is the correlation between those two things? Like, he's throwing a ball and, like, he's not in the bathroom. He's not using the bathroom.
Right.
He's throwing the ball. Like,
he's in public in front of millions of people, Steve.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you, this is crazy.
No one's invading his privacy, so please.
Timbo Slice says, Tobin, why can't you use your powers that broke up the Heat on the Dolphins? Look, I'm going to tell you something right now, Timbo Slice. You better shut your thumbs, dude, because I did not break up the Heat, and I want that to stop being a thing, okay? It was headed that way, whether I asked Riley a question or not. So please stop doing that. I don't like that. Anyway, I'm just telling you, Arch Manning, this has only confirmed my thoughts now. Arch Manning's definitely hurt based on my past experiences.
Sure. He did absolutely he did nothing with that answer except for make everybody believe that he's absolutely 1,000% hurt.
Jerry Jones, he was on our sister station in Dallas, and they're still talking about the Micah Parsons thing because, Dallas lets things go. Here was Jerry Jones on the Micah Parsons talks.
There is no violation, period. I have all the authority in the world, and the player has all the authority in the world to negotiate directly with me. There is no equivocation there. Can I work through an agent or an attorney? An attorney can do the very same thing. Do it all the time. It usually ends up a little of both on a pretty high-profile player. But there is no violation. I have every right. Can you imagine if you didn't have the right when you're the one that decides whether to trade him or not? How could you not have the right? I will 100 times the fine or the penalty. I will 100 times it if I were ever assessed on anything I did with Michael relative to the communication or non-communication with an agent. I'll 100 times it and give it to the Salvation Army.
All right, dude. This guy's he's so in his own head of like having to just, I had the right to talk to Micah if I will please. What if we were just walking and we were at the water cooler? Am I supposed to not say hello? Am I not supposed to talk to him? Am I just supposed to not acknowledge his existence? What's the difference if I ask him, does he want a scone from the cafeteria or if he wants the most money a non-quarterback's ever gotten? Samesies if you ask me.
It's also like, give it up. Give it up.
Like, I mean,
he's like a disgruntled ex, just keeping it going.
It is. I mean, that's his thing. He likes he's in the market of relevancy, and that's what he wants.
And I understand that, but Jesus, give it up, my guy, please.
I was allowed to talk to Micah. Whatever. Listen, I just want everyone to know that old Jerry's in charge. How can I not talk to the player when I was the one who sent him to Green Bay? So he wants an agent to talk. I say, what, you don't talk for yourself? I talk for old one, number one, Jerry Jones. I am judge, jury, and executioner when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. guy is he gives me the willies, dude.
Ugh, he's just I can't stand him.
Who do you think decides what kind of popcorn we have at AT&T Stadium? That's right. You're looking at him. From the popcorn to the trade talks. Old Jerry's number one. And you're sitting here telling me that I got to put aside my McGriddle with salt on it and I can't talk to Micah Parsons directly? It's crazy. Dan South says he let his cameo in Land. He let his cameo in Landman go to his head. That's a great show. I like Landman. You watch Landman?
I have no idea even what that is, but
Paramount Plus. Hey, it's on Paramount Plus.
There you go.
Subscribe today to Paramount Plus, ladies and gentlemen, for your NFL football and Landman with Billy Bob Thornton, who you want to talk about. You think we talk about the Mike Tyson thing a lot. I see that Billy Bob Thornton T-Mobile commercial a gazillion times. Anyway, one more here for you in the mixed bag, and that is from Brian Windhorst, who is the host of the Hoops Collective podcast. He's an ESPN analyst. And they were discussing the Southeast Division, and he gave some thoughts on some of the Heat's young guys this year.
They really liked the upside of Kel'el Ware, who had a very good second half of his rookie season. They made him off limits in various trade talks. And then they have sort of the perplexing case of Jaime Jaquez, who had an excellent rookie year and a big-time sophomore slump, where I think the Heat were not thrilled with his overall demeanor after his success after his rookie year. So
there you go. Brian Windhorst. Kind of a weird, it's a weird thing to throw out there. Not that I'm saying he's making things up. I just thought, didn't like his overall demeanor. And I've been trying to break this down since I've heard this. I'm like,
a very poor choice of words, I feel.
Like, does that mean he was just being, like, too cocky last year? Too cocky after a great rookie year? Didn't put in the thing? Or was he being a sourpuss because he was no good at basketball? I don't know what to make of it. It's a very strange description.
I don't know. I think it's a poor choice of words. I feel like he did not mean to use that word, or he used it in the wrong context. Because it's like, then the question is like, well, what demeanor? Was it the demeanor of, like, he didn't care? Does it demeanor that he felt that he was like really good?
It's very vague. It's very vague. What did you say overall?
Where are you getting information from?
I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm sure Brian Windhorst knows things. He's been around the NBA for a while. Does he have the biggest Heat connection in the world? I don't know. I don't know.
Because from what my understanding is like when everything happened with LeBron and all these people, he was the one that was on the outs, even though his career was very much so about LeBron James.
Yep.
So we don't really like people in our realm. The Heat don't.
I would be curious. Like, I don't want to say Windhorst is making things up, though, because I think we're all trying to figure out what the hell happened to Jaime Jaquez last year. Like, he was not good. He underperformed. And it was almost to the point where I was like, did he not work out from year to year? Did he just, like, think I'm going to show up and I'm just going to – the only thing he worked on was his threes going into his sophomore year? Because he wasn't the same player. It was very, very odd. And so I don't know. Yes, you're very right, Brittney, that demeanor is a weird description to put, like, his overall demeanor, because it's either you don't like his attitude, you don't like the way that he went about his business. I don't know. Now, I will say, you know, because when they say demeanor, like, that's kind of what we heard with Kel'el. Like, oh, the Heat didn't like Kel'el Ware's demeanor. That's why Eric Spoelstra called him out. They thought he was a little too laissez-faire. So maybe that was like, oh, well, we didn't. Maybe Jaime had a little bit of that last year. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, because I don't understand how a guy can have that kind of a fall off. And I'm very curious to see what he has this year because, well, quite frankly, Pella's coming for his stuff. So I don't. He's going to have a huge bounce back if he thinks he's going to make this rotation. So that is your mixed bag. Appreciate you guys checking that one on out. And we'll get into more shenanigans on this other side. We'll hear from Mike McDaniel, who is giving a description of how he's dealing with all the heat going on right now. We'll take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you. Hello, Leroy. How is Cleveland? How is Cleveland?
Cleveland's they're feeling it too, but they dominated in every aspect of that game and lost.
Well, yeah, kicker. Poor kicker.
Yeah, not poor kicker. Like I don't listen. I may sympathize with him, but I don't feel sorry for him. That's your job. You got one job. It ain't like you played 30 other plays and then you were exhausted and dropped a pass, right?
So you were lying to Anderson when you saw him.
No. I was very understanding that people make mistakes, but it still don't mean that I can't be upset that you missed.
Man, that's totally. Listen, it's totally fair. I get you. We didn't even get to see the new Dolphins kicker, really. Yeah. Because they did what? They did a 2-point conversion. They didn't even try a field goal.
No,
he didn't have to do anything.
Nothing. Kicked off a couple of times.
Yep. Kicked off. That's all he had. Let's get to our headlines. Brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or at DoralKia.com. Mike McDaniel spoke before practice today.
I mean, did he have to? You know what they should do with Mike McDaniel? Have the press conference 10 minutes before practice.
So he's got to go?
Yeah, so he's got to go.
He's got to go?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the big news is the Dolphins not only placed James Daniels on IR, but he is not counting on having Austin Jackson. So it looks like we're going to have Larry Borum start at right tackle, according to Mike McDaniel. Larry Borum. They got him from Chicago last year. You know what a great line they had. Backup right tackle.
Listen.
Protecting to his blind side.
How are we in this situation after the first game already? Like, think about this. And I remember you mentioning the question was asked of you. How many weeks do we get out of the starting five?
Oh, my God. I whiffed on that one.
How about a half? 1/2 of football. Now, just out of curiosity, if you want to know what teams are having the most success, I would like you to go to the Ravens. I would like you to go to Detroit. I would like you to go to Indy. I would like you to go to the Eagles. And I want you to see how many games their starting linemen have played together.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just to get an idea that that's some of your best offensive linemen in the league.
Brutal, dude. Brutal.
Not that important here.
Keon Smith is the front runner to start at right guard, according to Barry Jackson. He said, I thought that Keon did a good job on Sunday. Cole Strangers, of course, has been added for depth, and they do have Kendall Lamb as well. He was inactive the last game. I imagine he will not be. In case this Larry Borum sucks.
So my question is, new guy that they brought in. You know what's going to happen, just to add insult to injury, right?
Yeah, the first guard will go down.
He's going to be here for 12 seconds, and next thing you know, he's going to be your starting right guard.
He's gonna ask Tua what purple means.
Oh my God, dude! I'm telling you, I've never been more terrified in my life. Like, I've come across snakes. I've seen weird things in the ocean, right, that have terrified me. I've been in the woods and stuff like that. I've never been more terrified than being on a team for 3 days and somebody audible and changing a play.
Whew. Well, let's hear a little bit from Mike McDaniel.
Stop.
What?
Don't ever say that again.
Okay, let's hear a lot of it from Mike McDaniel.
There we go.
This was on him. 2-part answer because it was 3 minutes.
Of course.
Had to cut it in half.
Now, there you go. Wait. And you wonder why I said, don't ever say that again? You come at me with 2-part answer?
Here's Mike McDaniel. He was asked by Chris Perkins, we know you're not a yeller. How you getting your point across that these guys stink?
I know you're not a yeller or a screamer. What have you done to drive home the point to the players? This won't be tolerated again. This is unacceptable.
Well, I think the biggest thing is initially, I think as a coach and a leader, I have to teach, and what levels of anger does that bring out of me? Well, it's about intent. So, were you unprepared for with a controllable? Were you unprepared for the game based upon assignment? That triggers me. So when that did happen, it wasn't the major thing, but when it did happen, yeah, I was pissed because you're taking down everyone when you aren't on your job responsibilities. However, it was to me something more than that. It was kind of the reason that a lot of guys had confidence going into the game was because of our preparation and how hard we work and what we work at.
How you doing?
My heart doctor said I need to take it easy. Asked me why my heart rate was at 80 and it's normally at 50. I said, I'm still coming down from yelling for 4 hours. She said, what are you yelling about? Dolphins. She goes,
Basketball Jones on YouTube says he took away the slide for punishment. That would be funny if we found out the Dolphins took away the slide. Like there's
just let him do the demon drop. Just like the slide start and then just cut it in half and just boom. Yeah, there you go. Now you got a reason to be hurt.
Oh man. No one is taking the slide this week though, right? Nobody would dare take the slide.
The only person that really I could picture taking the slide is Christian Wilkins.
Oh yeah, like you don't think like Kenneth Grant walks by and he goes and Sealer goes, not this week.
I've been on that slide. It's a punishment within itself.
Is it really?
Yes.
How did you go on the slide? What, were you doing a tour?
I don't know if I can answer that.
Oh wow, woman of mystery.
You wasn't supposed to be on the slide.
Next question.
Next question. We can go to part 2. You guys want to listen to part 2 of Mike McDaniel?
Let's listen to part 2. I mean, now I'm kind of intrigued. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to find more prime questions.
If part 1 was a lot of answer.
You know what
Now we got continuation.
Well, I think the thing is Brittney knows that we're gonna unearth things because she's already heard us interrogate JFig about murdering that bird, and so she doesn't want any other details. She's not trying to make herself culpable in any crimes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be, but I can tell you off air. I just don't want to get anybody in trouble. That's all.
Go ahead. What is? Let's hear the rest of Mike McDaniel yammering.
And so when you don't display those on Sunday, it's frustrating. But I tried to figure out why and communicate with that directly. Then on top of that, you let people know that no one gives anything about any of your problems. No one cares if somebody is like, no one cares if you have a sack or you give up a pressure and a receiver doesn't execute a route, or the quarterback doesn't hit the right read, or the play caller made the wrong call. It doesn't matter. What you have to do is control the controllables. We need individuals to play as one, and that's the focus. We're not playing tennis, we're playing football, so we have to execute consistent techniques and fundamentals so that we can so that guys who are in a position to make a play can make a play based upon their teammates' execution. So all of that being said, it's a direct communications kind of what I rely on, and we are trying to work on the things that we failed on because there's only one way to go from that output, and that's what we're focused on today about.
Mike, I'd like to expound on that a little bit. What part of all of that do you play in that equation, being that you designed a play that the quarterback executed quite well? He threw it right where he was supposed to throw it in a timely manner, and there was a traffic cone that picked it off. You think maybe you ought to change it up a little bit because they know where you're throwing it?
Oh my God.
Just asking. I mean, man, that was a whole lot of listen. And here's the hard thing that athletes do. Athletes try to come up with answers, and coaches do too sometimes. Try to come up with answers that are acceptable by you, right? Instead of the reality of the situation. And I tell you this, what got them in trouble early on in that game was, again, if you have the first 10 to 15 plays scripted, and at the end of the first quarter, you've had 3 plays, that is a setback.
A lot left in the script.
Right. And so now, how do you go about that as a coach, as a team, as an offense? Meanwhile, your defense is probably exhausted because they played 12 and a half minutes of the first quarter. So now I have to take that into account. So to be honest with you, having a 3 and out where you run the ball 3 times in a row might not be the worst thing because you're trying to give your defense a chance to regroup.
Everybody else hear Senor Gato?
Yeah, we heard him.
Yes, we heard him.
You know what he said? Boom! A traffic cone! Traffic cone!
Take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you. 104.3 FM, WQAM. It's time to get to a little 15 minutes of Gameday Uncensored here, brought to you by the Lexus TX. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer. Got Rats Off a Ship coming up in about 15 minutes. We'll get to that, our favorite Wednesday game. Ricky Williams, he's scheduled to join us in the 1 o'clock hour today, so we'll talk to the former Miami Dolphins running back. Always a good time chopping it up with Ricky. We do that probably about once a season.
You know, that's one of my favorite guys.
Love him. You love him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He is he's a cool dude, so we're excited about that. By the way, I saw that there's a GoFundMe to fly a Fire Chris Grier banner over Hard Rock Stadium. We've gotten to that point. I believe right now the goal, according to this page, was $900. They have reached $1,550.
So here's the problem. I don't have a problem with fans doing what they want to do. But what I would say is this. You have to tell me why. Like, and I would say this. Here's what Chris Grier's job is. Chris Grier's job is to get the tools in which the coach can win. If I were to have a problem with Chris Grier, it would be this. We have more veterans and more hurt players than anybody in the NFL. You have signed more injured guys. Doesn't make it real conducive to winning. The guys that have been productive have gotten to a point where you can't afford them. They're not with you. So you don't even have the good versus the bad to kind of even it out.
Do you want me to read the banner description?
I guess you're going to read it anyway.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this guy put a lot of thought into it.
What does it say?
My brother is expecting his firstborn son this year, and it got him to thinking about generational trauma. As our family gathered for their first Dolphins game of the season, he asked an important moral question. Is it fair to raise my son as a Dolphins fan? They have been trash for 25 years, and with this front office, they will be trash for another 25 years. It was my curse, but it doesn't have to be his cross to bear. I can break the cycle, his brother said. This is the state of 2025 Dolphins fandom. We have not won a playoff game since before 9/11. I'm not saying there's any connection, but you do the math. While it would be easy to blame Sparano, Wanstash, Bill Parcells, Philbin, McDaniels, etc., the real culprit here is the front office. For decades, we have watched a quarterback after quarterback get pummeled into the dirt because his offensive line is composed of nothing but turnstiles and matadors. And the occasional all-pro left tackle we lose after refusal to pay him. I have great sympathy for the front office staff, and this is one of, if not the premier sports league in the world. You're competing to be the best and the brightest. It can be a very difficult job, but at some point, if you can't find a way to field a competitive team after multiple seasons of failure, it's time to move on and find somebody who can. For that reason, but for some reason, Chris Grier, he says, but for some reason, I assume he has compromising photos. Chris Grier keeps shopping for O-linemen at the Island of Misfit Toys. If I worked at Dairy Queen and I was this bad at my job, I would have been fired years ago. It's only fair to treat Chris Grier the same. I understand that asking to donate money to fly a banner asking for somebody to be fired may be mean, but please think of Tua and his family. If we keep trotting out empty potato sacks to block for him, he will be irreparably mauled on the field at Joe Robbie, and we will have to look at ourselves in the mirror knowing we could have done something about it.
This guy's old.
For the sake of mercy and justice, we must hashtag fire Chris Grier. Thank you for your attention to this matter. My God.
Can I just say this? As much as I am against something like this, there's some valid points.
Wow.
Right?
Hold on.
Like I can't call him wrong.
Okay, I have updates. He has updates to this.
Mm-hmm.
Update 1. By popular demand, Mike McDaniel has been added to the banner.
Oh.
Update 2. Any funds raised above the goal be donated to CTE research in honor of all the Dolphins QBs this organization has scrambled. Update 3. A few Dolphins have reached out asking to add Tua to the banner, but as disappointed as I am with his performance, I'm not going to shame the victim of Chris Grier's refusal to assemble a competent offensive line.
That again, that I like the guy. Look, the guy's been very thoughtful in this. I'm not gonna blast him. I'm not.
Update 4. Wow, that was fast. I'll book the plane tomorrow morning and post an update here when we confirm the time and date of the flight. Update 5. The plane has been chartered. It will fly over Joe Robbie from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Sunday before the home opener during peak tailgate hours.
Peak. He's very thoughtful. This guy's very thoughtful. So here's again, and we have, and I will say this. I have, a part of this that I get to see all the after the fact stuff, right? Again, I don't care what offensive coordinator you are, what kind of guru you are. If you have the ball 2.5 minutes in a quarter, it's going to look bad. Okay? That's unless you mysteriously score it in 2 minutes, which this team hasn't done in a while. The thing that I'll say, and I've said this all along with Chris Grier, the reason why what he's doing looks so bad is that every time you get a good player, because of what you've done with the rest of the team, you now can't afford the guy that you drafted. So if you had just kept all the guys that you drafted that are going somewhere else and balling out, think of what kind of team you'd have, and it would all be yours. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, look,
there's that. Here's the other thing. If you look at the success in the NFL, it is all centered around two bodies on the field, the offensive line and the defensive line. You, for reasons I can't explain, has spent all your money on the perimeter of both of those. So you've built a team that, if you look at football, has not been successful in years.
I think the thing that's probably frustrating for people too is he doesn't feel like as a GM he has any vision. Like it always feels like he's reacting. It's always
I got to sign somebody. I got to
draft this guy. I don't like. He doesn't have a philosophy, and it's always and the thing that pisses me off about him is like he comes out there and he goes, you guys are more concerned about the O-line than we are. It's like, are you blind? And like they were doing, and just like we all can see this type of stuff. And you are always in this thing where it's like, first off, he was like, I'm Mr. Get along with everybody. I'm going to work with the coach. I'm going to work with the GM. I'm going to do all these things. Then I'm F them picks guys. I'm going to trade all my guys for stars. I'm going to make blockbuster trades and everybody will applaud me. And then when it comes time to
vision.
Yeah, there's just nothing. It's like he always, and then this year he comes into it and he goes, I probably have been deferring too much to the coaches. And I'm just like, all right.
You know what I would say? And we've been spoiled. And here's why. Ever since Bill Zito took over, he has had a plan. He has had an idea of what type of player he wanted, what player fits what goal and what need. And he's used the system to be able to pay more money, right? And get those players in. But most of the guys that he has brought in, he's tried to find a way to keep them and continue building on it, right? So when you look at all the guys that he's brought in and the role that they fill on this team, they all have you can almost see, right, what role this guy plays. Oh, he's going to help this aspect of the Panthers. He's going to help this aspect of the Panthers, right? Now, I will say this as just a guy who likes football and knows a little bit about it, right? Tua is like when you brought Tua into the league, and Tobin, Brittney, you might know about this, but I'm gonna explain to you how it worked with me. I used to drive to get where I'm going, right? I was the guy in the left lane, riding behind the fastest guy. Then I went to the hospital and picked up Rebecca. I'll be damned if for the next 3 years I didn't drive the speed limit. You know why? Because I had my baby girl in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You knew when you brought Tua and drafted him number 5 that if he was going to have any success based on what he's been through, that you were going to have to protect him, as so many other coaches have determined with their quarterback. And the fact of the matter is that you have not ever made a conscious effort to get the people in front of him that allows him to be the player that he could be. That is the biggest fault of Chris Grier. And you could put whatever twist you want. We've tried to sell players that we don't even know and say it's going to work out.
Maybe Larry Borum's going to catch lightning in a bottle this weekend, dude.
Right. But here's the other thing you have to understand. If any of these guys were good, they would already be making big money because everybody's looking for offensive linemen except the Dolphins.
We'll take a break, play a little Rats Off a Ship coming on up. But before that, Leroy, we got to tell them about the best dry cleaning in all of South Florida. And that's our friends over at A&T Dry Cleaners. I just stopped by last week, dropped off my suit to our guy Ara, and I'm going to stop by there later on this week, go pick it on up, because I know when I want to trust my clothes looking great for those dirty boxing broadcasts, the only person I trust is A&T Dry Cleaners, Leroy.
That is it. The owners are, that's our boy. Give him a call, 954-610-9383. That's 954-610-9383. They do same-day sewing. They have a seamstress on site. It's Mama Hour, so you know you're getting the best care for your clothes. It's back to school, which you got proms coming up. They service all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Southern Palm Beaches. And they can pick up and drop off your orders.
I don't think proms are coming up, dude. That's like spring. It's homecoming.
It's prom, spring, homecoming.
Homecoming's
Dude,
going on.
Dude, it's been, what, 40 years?
I just want to be clear. Like, proms are in the spring, homecoming's like in a few weeks.
All right.
So that's what you want to be dapper for.
That's it. You might have a wedding. Do they do weddings?
Yeah, weddings, quinces, whatever you got going on, dude.
All right. Thank you. Well, whatever it is, I could hook you up. And if you mention Tobin and Leroy, what do they get?
They get 25% off their order, Leroy. 25%. So what are you waiting for? Call or text R today, 954-610-9383. Once you use A&T Dry Cleaners, you'll never want to launder your own clothes again. And it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to get to our favorite Wednesday game. Rats off a ship. Go around the room. Jennifer will give us some topics. We'll let you know whether or not our rats are staying on or not. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
How are you today?
It's been a long morning, for sure.
It has. What has gone wrong? Is it you? Are you also just dealing with Mike McDaniel?
Well, besides that, and listening to his responses, I had to take Scooby to the vet, and then I had to deal with the mechanic and all these things, and I'm just done with today. I'm ready to go to bed.
Ready to sleep. I get you. What do you got today for Rats Off a Ship?
Well, first things first, we have the Dolphins bringing in Jon Gruden to replace Mike McDaniel.
I'm Rats Off a Ship on this. I see this has become a very chic thing. I do not believe you should bring in Jon Gruden. Jon Gruden hasn't had a winning season since 2008. He's not had double-digit wins since 2005. I don't know about you guys.
That sounds like success.
That sounds like 20 years ago. He's been a more successful broadcaster than he is a coach. I don't understand the Jon Gruden thing at all from Dolph fans. It's weird to me.
Here's the thing.
That's off the ship.
People get caught up in names and not success. Right? And so how far back are we going to go and still deem this coach successful? Because he hasn't been for a while. Been
a long time. Wasn't successful with the Raiders. He had 4 years there before he was unceremoniously fired.
Let me put it this way. You got rid of who's the 90s coach? Who's the last great coach you got rid of?
The last great coach? Are you talking about for the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Shula.
Sorry. You got rid of Don Shula, who had way more success than Gruden has had in the same amount of years. Right? So it was only, 5 years before they had gotten to a championship game or a second round of the playoffs, and you got rid of Shula. So, and I'm just using that to compare when you talk about having success and how recent a guy has had success. Be careful with what you're asking for.
I just don't.
Older coaches and coaches like Gruden and Pete Carroll and Belichick, and these coaches come in and they want power over the roster.
Right. And last time he brought in a dude from TV.
Bill Parcells.
Who? No, he didn't.
Who wanted control of the roster.
Yeah. Bill Parcells did that, but I'm talking about with Gruden. He had Mike Mayock from NFL Network. He had him as his GM. They were terrible. They were awful with the Raiders.
Right.
Not successful at all. And I feel like what's happening here is, he is, I guess, more in the ether just because he's on social media and he's doing stuff with Barstool, and it's like, all right, look, he is a very, very, very captivating media personality. He's very good at that. The same thing happened with the Raiders when they took him off Monday Night Football. He was the highest paid person at ESPN. He was very good at football.
Right.
But he hasn't been a good coach in forever.
Right.
How do you Dolphin fans think this is your solution to getting things to the promised land? It's weird.
Let me just say this. And I understand everybody's just aggravation, disappointment, or whatever. But different isn't always better. And I'm saying that from the standpoint of you're just pulling a name out of a hat. And in most cases, if they were to bring a new coach in, it's going to be a coach that has never coached before.
Probably. And I know people are sick. I know people are sick of the first-time coaches because they always do first-time coaches.
But when you have a coach who's been in the business for a long time, he comes in and you have to give him additional power over stuff. And that's the thing. And that's probably why Chris Grier's never brought in one of those coaches.
Probably.
You see what I mean? So that now I will say this. is that if you bring in a new GM, you're probably going to go to an organization, bring the assistant GM in, and have him start, with the same kind of ideology of the place he left, but he's going to be new to the job. That's just kind of the way it goes now. You don't want to bring a guy who's going to come in and demand all of this power over the organization because you're going to be more frustrated at some of those moves.
Jennifer, where are your rats with Jon Gruden?
Rats off a ship.
Rats off a ship.
Brittney?
Rats off a ship 1,000%.
Clean sweep.
I don't
And do we
do
not understand why he's not coaching now?
Yeah, that's another thing too.
Right.
Yes,
I love the way people will overlook. If you can produce or you think you produce, you overlook everything that the person has done and what type of person he is because you think he can bring you success. That in itself, if you are all for that, then don't talk about how bad a player is and what kind of person the player is.
Right.
If he's producing. Because basically you're just signing up for the same damn thing.
100%. 100%. And I didn't even bring the fact that he's already, he's in a lawsuit with the NFL because he was, using racist and anti-gay stuff in his emails, and that he's in the middle of a lawsuit with the league. I didn't even bring that up. I'm just strictly going off his coaching, which hasn't been good in forever. Right. I just don't. The fascination for it is weird. I don't understand it. What do you have?
Somebody different. That's all.
Yeah. What do you have number 2, Jennifer?
How do we feel about the Lakers snooping around Andrew Wiggins?
I'm rats off a ship on the Lakers. Bleeper, get off the pot. You guys have been snooping around Andrew Wiggins for 6 months, and all I keep hearing is, you don't want to give up a first-round pick for me. Well, then, you know what? Stop snooping around Andrew Wiggins, okay? We don't want Dalton Connect. Respectfully, we have our own intangibles, lots of them. Lots of them. And guess what? You don't want him either. He stunk in Summer League. Just because he's dating Liv from Love Island doesn't mean that we want him over here, right? Even if I could ask him a ton of questions that I would use for content. I don't want Dalton Connect here. It's not enough. Now, I'll take Dalton Connect with a first-round pick and Gabe Vincent because he's handsome. But you guys are going to have to sweeten the pot. Otherwise, stop telling me how much you want Andrew Wiggins because you don't want Andrew Wiggins.
So
rats off a ship.
I'm not rats off a ship for this reason. And it's your fault. Because now all of a sudden you acting like you want Andrew Wiggins.
Me?
And you did, yes.
Oh, I love Andrew Wiggins.
No,
I've always been an Andrew Wiggins guy. I've always said Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is a complete player. I've said Andrew Wiggins is a complete player. The connectivity of a roster starts and ends with Andrew Wiggins.
Oh my goodness.
Maple Jordan, dude. That's what I've always said.
You are the worst.
I think Andrew Wiggins and I have an understanding. He didn't want to be here last year. It was a tough, uncomfortable circumstance. I was like, hey, he's not Jimmy Butler. Now we both realize, with time heals, and we're all ready for a new situation, unless the Lakers want to sweeten the pot. If the Lakers want to sweeten the pot, then he can go to LA. But other than that, I really would love Andrew Wiggins here. I think he can add a lot to this Heat roster.
Here's what I would say to you. You're a fraud.
What?
You are the definition of life.
What?
And that is, let me tell you, you could not, as a kid, you could not want it. I don't want that. I don't like it. I don't like it. So as little Billy or Susie wants it, then mysteriously now you want it. Right? That's what that sounds like. You were so rats off a ship on Andrew Wiggins.
I don't think that's fair.
5 months. No.
I don't think that's fair.
6 months ago, you were so off. Hey, Andrew
Find the
Wiggins.
tape.
You're going to play some of the time. You're going to play all the time. What are you going to do? You give us
fair
20,
critiques.
You give us 20 points in a quarter and a half, and
fair
then you don't score for the rest of the game.
These are fair critiques.
Okay. Now all of a sudden you want him.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not giving away for nothing.
Right now, do you want Andrew Wiggins or not?
I want Andrew Wiggins.
Question.
I'm keeping Andrew Wiggins on the roster.
Okay.
Unless the Lakers sweeten the pot.
No.
Not giving away for nothing.
Oh my goodness, you're the worst. Oh, it's pouring. but I still got my internet because I got new internet stuff.
Jennifer, where are your rats with Andrew Wiggins?
They're off the ship. And I also want them to not only stop snooping around on Andrew Wiggins, just the entire team in general. I'm just upset because you've taken away the one thing I liked.
Gabe Vincent?
Rats
Yeah.
off the ship.
I understand. You could get him back, though, in an Andrew Wiggins trade. So just so you know, he's probably definitely coming here in an Andrew Wiggins trade.
No.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. Brittney?
I don't know. I'm not rats off a ship on it.
Stop.
Wow.
Stop.
Oh, sounds like she's ready to move on from Andrew Wiggins.
It's not that I'm
Not
ready
me. I mean, I haven't thought that, Brittany, but if you think that, I mean, but let's give her chance.
I just don't think he wants to be here. I don't want somebody who doesn't want to be here on my team.
Interesting.
So that's
Interesting.
just what it is.
How do you know he doesn't want to be on the team?
I don't know. You can tell by his demeanor that he doesn't
Right.
really care to be here.
Interesting.
The demeanor.
It's the demeanor. It's always a demeanor.
Wiggins has always been a real quiet kind of guy, so I'm not reading too much into that.
It's not even that he's quiet. It's that I just don't feel like he wants to be here.
Based on what? The fact that how he got it, he got
Yeah, I
here.
think it's
like,
based
in
on
the
I think he was really happy at the Warriors. I think he thought that was where he was going to retire. I think that he wanted to stay there with his family and everything, and now he's here in South Florida, somewhere he doesn't want to be, on a team that isn't really in contention for anything, and doesn't seem like it's going to be in contention for anything.
I don't know. I just think that sometimes when you go into a situation in the middle of the season,
Leroy, can I just stop the show for a second? Jennifer, whatever you told Leroy to do, go back to whatever you were doing. You messed it up. You ruined it. No, no.
sound worse.
You sound way worse, dude. You sound way worse. Whatever she made you do,
I didn't make you do anything. You saw me.
Jennifer, yeah.
Now I'm back to.
Now you sound normal. Whatever she made you do, you're lashing out, Jennifer. We've been telling you sound like a crazy person this entire time during your little private chat, and you were selfish. You were being selfish, Posh.
I was being selfish?
Selfish, dude.
Then why do I
'Cause
keep hearing myself?
I don't know. Well, you sound completely fine.
I hear myself, and I'm telling you, it has to be from his room.
It's not from his room.
No.
He sounds perfect.
So I switched the little thing on the back of the mic.
Don't do
I
that.
never said touch
Don't do that.
Put it back.
I said touch the tab.
Don't do that.
No, the tab is muted.
Everything's muted. It's a you thing. I'm telling you.
I don't know what it is.
How can the three of us be all fine? You're going nuts.
I heard an echo earlier. That's why, but it was a little one, so I didn't think because you guys didn't hear it. I didn't say nothing.
It's crazy. She's got us all scrambling. We got to take a break. That is Rats Off a Ship. More to come. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 FM, WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Start off this hour. Get to our headlines brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or at DoralKia.com. The Miami Dolphins already going to deal with a backup right side of the offensive line. It's awesome. It's just, I'm so happy.
Week 1.
Can't wait for football.
Week 1.
Yep, week 1. That's all it took. That is all it took. So James Daniels, he is on IR. The Dolphins signed Cole Strange, former Patriots first-round pick. He was on the Browns practice squad, but it appears that the Dolphins are going to play Keon Smith, and then Mike McDaniel anticipates that he is going to play Larry Borum at right tackle. So, swell.
You know what's crazy? When they say he had a setback with his toe.
Yeah.
With who is it?
Austin Jackson.
Austin Jackson. It's not a setback.
He tried to play through it.
No, it's the fact that it never got to where he could, where he could actually play.
Mm-hmm.
It kept, so it didn't heal to the point where he could go out and perform.
Man. I mean, you appreciate him trying to get out there for the first week. You know that he probably wanted to be out there, but man, this is just depressing.
Well, because now that they said this, I think he missed a lot of time.
Yo, maybe. I don't know.
Now you got to do whatever it takes to be healthy for long term.
Right.
And now that you realize that there's really no way he's going to get to a point where he's going to be able to be effective. Now you have to think, okay, how can we fix this so we don't have to deal with this long term?
Yeah, and then the unfortunate thing here is, he's had his own injury issues through his career, and you were hoping, the hope was, all right, Teron Armstead's no longer playing. Can you get a more durable offensive line? He had some of this, he was obviously hurt last year, had some things earlier in his career, but now, again, an injury, and then, of course, James Daniels is coming off the Achilles, so what do you know? That's where we are. We have this offensive line God, it feels snake bit right now, Leroy.
It's not snake bit. Let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this over and over again. You're taking a level of risk when you need a player to play to help your team at whatever position.
Mm-hmm.
It's a position of need. And you sign a guy coming from an injury or is injury prone. You are already taking a risk that's unnecessary when the main thing you need is active participants. Why even go down that road? If there's a question that I would ask Chris Grier, that question would be, knowing the health concerns over everybody on your team the last 3 or 4 years and how much it has set you behind the 8 ball, why would you go out and sign guys who are either injury prone or coming off injury? That's it.
Yep.
That is it.
Let's go out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, and toyotaofhollywood.com. And there we will be happy to be joined by Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams joining us here on the show. Ricky, how are you, man?
I'm great. Thank you.
Thanks for appreciate you joining us, man.
Real quick, what was the longest period of time you missed due to injury?
6 games.
6 games?
6
okay.
games.
What was the injury?
I tore my pec.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that was Monday Night Football, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was...
Man. Yeah.
And also I missed 6 games when I broke my ankle. Those are...
Right, but that's in 10 years?
Yeah.
Right, right. I don't... Like, I don't understand, and maybe you could help me out with this. We've gone out of our way to protect guys from getting injured in the most physical sport in the world. And they seem to be getting hurt more because they're not prepared for the most physical game in the world.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's been a rough week, Ricky. Obviously for the Dolphins fans, I think they knew they were coming into a season with a lot of I guess a lot of expectations and hope that this was going to turn around, and then you get absolutely stomped like that. I mean, have you seen, I guess, some of the reaction of the Dolphins getting boat raced the way they did in week 1, and what have you made of it?
No, I haven't read much. It's I typically don't read when teams I follow do poorly.
It's healthier.
It's depressing.
It is.
Everyone, and I've been there. Everyone piles on. And to me, losing early in the season like this is much better than losing later in the season. And I think the teams that lose early like this have the ability to make the corrections so that they can get better and improve. I think one of the things that I've always believed that football fans overreact about is anything that happens in the first 4 weeks of the season is an overreaction.
Listen. Don't get it, maybe, because you've been as upset as anybody, Leroy. You were coming in saying this was going to be 1 week, and you've been furious with the coach ever since we've come here on Monday.
But it's for different reasons. It's not for the win or loss. I have never mentioned the win or the loss. I have mentioned if you have a guy, and Ricky, you can kind of help me out. If you have a guy who left your team 3 years ago, and he can still prepare with the stuff that you're running when he was here, then as an offensive guru, you don't have any nuance to your offense, and they do a zone blitz and park a traffic cone right in the window where you're going to throw it, and you still throw it to him. I have a problem with that. Not the fact that they lost or not, but the fact that a guy who was here 3 years ago can help the defense set up to defend you.
Like I said, I think it's healthy to have reactions, but I think it's not helpful to overreact, because obviously there are things that need to be addressed. And it's like a relationship, there's things that come up in a relationship, but there's also that lingering thing that's always there. And I think as a fan, we can complain about what we see topically, but a lot of us, especially Dolphin fans, we got wounds,
Yes.
And so when we see things that are deep that haven't been addressed, right, it can tend to lead towards an overreaction. Yes, I think so.
Well, do you ever remember that? Like, is it different, like watching reactions? I'm sure it is, just after playing than as opposed to playing. Like, was there ever a season that just got off to like a rotten start week 1, 2, and did you have that perspective, or did it feel like, oh my God, there's urgency right away?
I think as a player, I always tried to, but as a player, the quality of your life is so much determined by the tightness of your coach's butthole. So it depends on the coach. I remember my second year in New Orleans, Jim Haslett was the head coach, and we started off 1-2. And he pulled me aside and he said, look, these things happen, they happen in chunks. You just got to stick with it. And then we went on to win 6 games in a row. So it's all about how you handle the onslaught, the difficulties. If you panic and start pointing fingers, you're done. Right? If you say, okay, we got to fix this, then you got a chance. And then you start to get to week 5 and 6, and if you've been trying to fix it and you still haven't, then it's time to overreact.
That's that. So, like, you would say, with this team in particular, do you feel like it's even more, or do you feel like that's still a fair time, like 6 games into the season? Or if they lose this week, everyone's going to be in red alert mode?
You got to give them till week 4. Right, and what you want to see is not necessarily winning. You want to see that the issues are being addressed.
Yeah.
And if a team can show you that they can address issues, they got a chance. If they show you that the internal workings, they can address issues, they don't have a chance. When I played for Tony Sparano, we had good teams. I think we played above our level, But when issues came up, our internal, the way we worked, we couldn't fix anything. You know? And so even though we were good and we were 2 years in a row, we were on the edge of the playoffs, but we couldn't address the things we needed to address when it was important, and we couldn't do it. But I think you learn to address things by, unfortunately, things that show up early in the season. But if you can show that you can make an adjustment, you got a shot.
Sure.
You think that's too many weeks, Leroy?
No, because Ricky, I always ask him, because fans tend to base everything off of winning and losing. And what I would ask him is, can your team be better than it was the year before while not having the same amount of success? And some of the things that you're talking about lend to that. And I would say that, especially now with nobody playing in the preseason, you almost have to prolong your opinion to what your team is or not, because a lot of it they're picking up on the fly. The physicality, how they're going to run the football, stuff like that. You're picking up on the fly because you haven't really experienced it the first couple of weeks of the season. But as soon as the Dolphins lose, it goes to, we haven't won a game in 25 years, playoff game in 25 years. And like some of these guys weren't even alive. What do they care?
Yeah.
Did you were those past playoff no win? Did that linger at all when you played here?
Well, because when I got to Miami was a perennial playoff team, but we didn't win for a long time. 6 years, 7 years until we won a playoff. 6 years until we won a playoff game, and then we've seen what's happened. So before I got there was the expectation, and after my first year when we didn't make the playoffs, the expectation started to disappear. So it was more like, this is where we are, and we're pretty good. But until we make some great big changes, we're not ever going to have a shot to make a run at the Super Bowl. But for some teams, being a playoff team, that's good enough.
Yeah. From your standpoint with this team, they talked so much about getting more physical this year, and I know Leroy, I know you both were not afraid of that physical style, and it kind of drives him nuts. I know sometimes to see them try and do everything outside. Do you feel like that's something that is possible to change from a coaching perspective? If Mike McDaniel has one thing, can he get back to it this year? Is that something that is doable as far as a coaching philosophy is concerned?
That depends on the coach. It's kind of what I was saying earlier about making adjustments. I think a football coach is like a preacher, a good one, because you got to get everyone on the same page. So when you are giving the sermon, they all get it and can listen and try to execute. And so it just depends on the relationship the head coach has with the team, that they trust. Trust is the most important thing. If a coach keeps changing things up and nothing is working, it's easy to lose trust. A coach sticks to his guns and makes small adjustments to get his philosophy through. I think that's a coach like that has a much better chance.
What have you thought about your alma mater, Arch Manning? That's another guy's dealing with a lot of expectations and the whole spotlight on him. Do you feel like he's going to get that time to actually develop with everything on him?
He'll be fine. I think he's met the hype monster in real life. It's one thing to hear about it, but when you meet the hype monster, right, you know. And I think he knows now. So I have faith. Again, it's early in the season.
Yeah.
Way too much hype, but the kid can play. So hopefully Sark can do a good job keeping things quiet around him and helping him focus and execute.
What do you got? You coming down to Florida anytime, Ricky? You got any events or anything coming up? I know sometimes you'll get out on the road.
Yeah, there's a conference I usually get down to in Miami early October. So I'll be down next month
with Heisman.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Very cool, man. Well, listen, I'm sure Dolphin fans are going to be looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, this was fun. Hopefully their team starts winning. So
yeah.
I'm telling you, it goes bad really fast in Miami. Again, you get to week 4 and they haven't shown anything, right? Dolphin fans, a lot of them, not all of them, right? They quit.
Yeah. No. It's gonna be all of them this year. All of them. It's gonna Ricky. If you can feel what we feeling down here after week 1, at week 4. Oh
no, you nailed it when you said we have a lot of pain, and you can already know you probably already know the routine. It's like you can already feel like, oh, it's at that moment right now, and I feel like I don't know where they go from here, but I know I'm kind of worried for if it goes bad, the fans at home, because at least the last game was on the road. This one's going to be in their building, and man, I imagine it's got to be a rotten feeling as a team where you're like, oh man, this fan base we've lost them in week 2.
Yeah, that's no fun at all.
Ricky, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me.
There you go. Ricky Williams, former Miami Dolphins running back. Always appreciate when he gives us time on the show.
I want to punch you in the eye right now.
Why, dude?
Because some of the stuff that he started with, I have said to you over and over again. And then you're shaking your head with him. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Ricky.
I see what Ricky's saying. Well, Ricky's very. No. Hold on. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. First of all,
be honest.
You have not behaved like that this week. Okay, you have not been Perspective Polly this week.
No. Again, if you listen to anything that I've complained about, it has been nothing to do with the loss. I have not talked about. In fact, I have been one of the guys who has said, I don't necessarily agree with the unprepared, the this, and I'm not going down that road. And then I said, but I do have a problem with this. And that really gets to me when a guy who was here 2-3 years ago can come in and say, let's defend this play, and you're still running it. Yes. I had a problem with that, but you have never heard me say anything about how bad they lost or what,
dude.
Dude,
let me tell you something.
Haven't.
Hey, listen, I'm going to turn the honest tree back on you. All right.
Go.
You felt Ricky's zen as well, and I think that calmed you down. But you, my friend, have been on edge all week.
And I told you
you had a cardiologist. And that is not perspective.
I told you what I was on edge about. It had nothing to do with the win or the loss of the game.
I understand, but the fact that they didn't play well and they did lose.
Again, don't try to twist my words. I understand losing early and what that means. But what I had a problem with was the play calling and what they were. You should not be running the same plays that you were running 3 years ago without any nuance or any adjustment to it. You shouldn't. That's on any team. All the teams watch film, right? They get your film of every game. So if you're running the same damn plays, guess what? When you play Baltimore, traffic cone right in the middle of the field. I promise you.
Well, week 4, Ricky said, just, patience.
But I've said that all summer. Did I not?
You did. And then week 1 happened.
And I told you what I had a problem with. But you never heard me talk about win or losses. You never heard me talk about that.
Didn't feel like I had to. I thought it was built in.
Whether you're implying it or not, I was not talking about the score. I wasn't talking about any of that. What I was talking about is what I saw on the field and why I had a problem with what was going on offensively with this team. That's what I had a problem with.
I don't like that Ricky came here almost like a war hero though, and he goes, "Oh, the Dolphin scars."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no."
He's like, "Yeah, I did 2 tours in Nam." right. That's what it sounded like, right?
No.
He said, and both my stints with the Dolphins. Yeah, man.
I remember that injury, that pec injury. He got stepped on.
Oh,
that was brutal. Take a break. Thanks to Ricky Williams for stopping by. We'll be back with more after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 104.3 FM, WQAM. Thanks again to Ricky Williams for stopping by the program. You know, Schmeathan's been asking about this, so I guess I'll tell you guys again. But champion boxer Mike Tyson is bringing his Return of the Mike show to Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood this December. Stories and more from Iron Mike, and we got your chance to win tickets. Just text the word IRON to 20357, IRON, IRON to 20357. For more info, go to WQM.com. It's a text contest. Message and data rates apply. Do not text and drive. Tickets are also available for purchase at casino.hardrock.com/Hollywood/events. So check that on out, everybody. Leroy, I know it is that time of the show where you've been asking yourself, hey, Tobin, did Mike McDaniel have anything to say about Darren Waller?
No one ever thinks that.
Nope. I know. I can see the looks on everybody's faces, and boy, howdy did he. Here's Mike McDaniel on the Dolphins' potential tight end.
Darren Waller this weekend.
I expect to not know what to expect until later in the week. Like I told you, he's working at this one, and as long as everything goes, we'll have a chance. But we may get to the point and recognize that the risk is too great for the rest of the season. So in that case, we will have to do what's best for the team. So I wouldn't say that I'm not expecting or expecting. I'm kind of open-minded to how each and every day progresses.
It sounds like they're going to cut him.
You know what? Let's just do that at this point, just so I don't have to hear answers about it anymore. Just so I don't have to hear about it anymore.
So we went from a tight end who broke records.
Yep.
To a tight end who can't play. Do you see what, like, here's what I would say. In all of these situations that you've talked about, I'm not saying I would be better, but I'm saying I'd be healthier.
Oh yeah.
And I have begged and I have pleaded, and I said the same thing with the Heat. Right?
Croqueta King says his answers are as confusing as my little brother trying to explain to my dad why he did what he did and is getting in trouble.
I don't understand when you sign somebody who's been out of football or sign somebody who's been hurt, why are you shocked when they're unavailable?
It's like you know what it feels like? It feels like the Dolphins in the springtime, they're doing too much spitballing in these meetings.
No, it's like somebody in that room is saying we got a deal.
Guys, hear me out.
Yes, I'm telling you, that's how the conversation goes. And that guy, whoever's in that room, is so persuasive that he convinces everybody else in the room to fall for it. But here's the problem. The problem is after week 1 or 2, when you're back to the same place you were last year with no available players, it's too late to look back and say, we probably shouldn't have did that. How many years are you going to say probably shouldn't have did that? Because I'm going to tell you right now, and I would have 53 guys who are healthy, besides the guys who, got hurt last season or whatever. That thing I understand, right? And as great as Teron Armstead was,
yep,
I don't know if this team had the offensive lineman to be able to not have him play every week. And so does that mean that, yeah, maybe the left tackle I get wouldn't be as good? Yes. But the stress that he put on all the guys who really couldn't play was terrible.
Of course.
So, like, I don't. This has not. And you know what's amazing to me, that one of the things that I'm talking about has nothing to do with your ability to select talent. It has nothing to do with your ability to find diamonds in the rough. It has nothing to do with your ability to determine who should be drafted in the draft. This is all stuff that you have decided outside of all the parameters of building a team.
Right. No, I mean, they have this philosophy that football, they've said football is 100% injury rate. And I'm like, yeah, but if it is, you guys take the guys that already are more prone to getting to that 100% quickly.
If it's 100%, then I'm going to try to get it down to 80. Then I'm going to try to get it to, hey, you know what? This guy's played 150 out of 155 games. You know what? This guy in college, never been banged up, strong as a moose. I'm going to go. These are the things like, and I'm only saying this, you have to pay more attention to this based on what you have been through. Your situation might be different than somebody else's situation, right? If somebody wants to sign a guy who's been banged up but needs time to heal as a backup because you got one of the best offensive lines in the world, that's a whole different conversation. If it doesn't work out, you still got your main guys. But a team who needs offensive linemen, right? A team who struggled at that position, you cannot afford to bring anybody in and it not work. That's just the nature of where you are.
Let's make everybody feel better. JFig's about to reach into her boots. Jennifer, reach into your boots.
I wish you told me. I would have grabbed the boot.
Do you have Hardy tickets?
I do have Hardy tickets.
What caller gets the Hardy tickets?
I want to give it today to caller number 7.
Caller 7 is going to win tickets to see Hardy as he brings his Jim Bob World Tour to the I Think Financial Amphitheater on September 20th with his special guest, Cole Wetzel. I feel like I just made that one marsupial now. Cole Wetzel. Steven Wilson Jr. and Sicarus. Caller 7 right now to 305-567-0560 will win the tickets. It's a Live Nation show. For more info, go to the contest page at WQM.com. We got more tickets all week. But right now, caller 7 gets those tickets. Back after this. All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. It's 104.3 FM, WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the show. Another day. Dolphins getting ready for everything. Give you a little 15 minutes of Gameday Uncensored to close things out here, which is brought to you by the Lexus TX. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer. I hit none of my bets on Gameday Uncensored, so hope you didn't take the advice on Porpoise props this week. But we will be back at 9 a.m. this week to have your coverage from, this week 2 matchup against the New England Patriots, who everybody else was crowning going into this year. They also
Still
lost.
favorites. The Dolphins are still favorite.
Yep. Has it gone down, though? They started like 2.5. What is it? You know what the line is now by any chance?
1.5?
Man. When I got this. Yep, 1.5. That's where we're at right now. Tomorrow you got the
It'll be even by the time Mike McDaniel has 2 more pressers.
You just see like the Vegas sportsbook being like, "What's happening to the lines?" McDaniel speaking.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we got a good Thursday night matchup. Packers hosting the Commanders.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. See if Micah can keep up with Jaden Daniels.
Yes. Yeah, it's a fun little matchup there to start the season. I'm trying to look over. You got the Bears and the Lions are both going at this. Lions are pretty heavy favorites there. Cam Ward has his first home game against the Rams. The Rams are 5.5-point favorites in Tennessee. They have a good defensive line. I mean, that sounds like it could be a long day for Cam Ward.
Without Aaron Donald.
I know. That's a team that's got a philosophy. That's
right,
a team.
but that's what I'm saying. Like if you look at all the teams who've had success, they all have offensive and defensive lines. Yet, for some reason, this team laughs at offensive linemen. Like, what did you like? If there's one glaring thing that's a clear mismanagement of how this team was put together. And I won't even go defensive line because you brought guys in who've been productive. You've had guys who've been productive, even if you couldn't re-sign them. The defensive line has been okay, and you got hurt a little bit by injuries. But even there, you got 17 pass rushers and 3 defensive tackles. Everybody else does it the other way. And so, what is this thing that you refuse to accept where football is?
I was doing that for effect, JFig.
Oh, no. I wanted to test out something, and I was correct.
Oh, okay.
What?
What are you correct with?
It's you. It's not Leroy.
What is me?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
What is me? You're literally I think you're going crazy. Everybody's fine, and you're going
Brittney was hearing it too.
What was she hearing?
When Leroy was getting a little loud, I could hear the echo, but I don't know where it's from. I do hear an echo, when he speaks very loudly, especially. But the rest of the time, no, I haven't heard an echo again. But it's only when he's speaking loudly.
Am I going nuts here, Leroy?
Why don't you check your tab? I hear the echo too.
What?
I heard it the whole time. That's
Since
why
when?
I switched up since the beginning of the show.
You know
but
what?
It hasn't been that bad.
Exactly.
That's why I started changing stuff because everybody always makes it me.
All right, so let me get this straight. We just did a show for 4 hours.
Yep.
Nobody said anything about the echo until JFig got here on camera.
Yeah, because usually if there's an echo, somebody will say something.
Right. I didn't hear an echo.
And I checked my tab.
Until last segment that Leroy was talking loudly. Then I heard the echo.
All right.
But I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't hear an echo.
You need to apologize
because it's
Jennifer?
you.
I don't have an echo.
Well,
if you're talking about acoustics in my house, that is what it is.
No, it's through the mic.
All right.
Waiting
I don't know what to tell you.
Are you not gonna?
I'm not apologizing. If I go back and I hear an echo on the show, I'll apologize.
I told Brittney this too, that you would deny.
She said
Jennifer,
she heard an echo, and you said you're imagining stuff.
Well, you all told me at the same time. You said I don't hear anything. So now all of a sudden, you guys hear an echo.
I did. I just didn't like.
I did it before, and then I heard it last segment. Is
Okay.
what I'm saying. I really didn't hear one all show.
So am I echoing now?
Let me see.
It's me.
Nope.
No. I still
I
hear
hear
it.
it.
You know what? -1 to all of you.
No,
it's
None of it. There's no clear description of your problem. It's like you guys are making a mountain out of a molehill. Classic JFig.
Okay, thank you so much.
It is. Like, is it a thing or is it not a thing? They're saying, yeah, kind of. It's kind of a thing. I don't know if it's a thing or not. All right. Anywho, thank you to Ricky Williams for stopping by the show. Before we get out of here, how would you guys like to have a chance to have a Miami football player come and visit the elementary school of your choice? A good habit with WQAM's MVP experience with the Dolphins, Zach Sealer. He's on board to speak at a school. Just go to WQAM.com and enter an elementary school in Broward or Dade now for your chance to get a visit from Zach Sealer, where he'll speak to the students and more. For contest rules, go to WQAM.com. So check that on out for all those who want to hear from Zach Sealer, and maybe you guys can ask him what the hell's happening in that school.
Could you imagine the kids? Like, because kids have no filter. Say, you think he's going to open it up for questions?
Yeah.
What?
What do you, why does the coach talk so much?
Why is Tua thrown into a traffic cone just standing there?
Why did he get picked off again? Is he getting figured out?
Why did he come in bunches?
We got to get out of here, kid. Sorry. We're done with this. No more. Zach, do you think he's a bum? Where do I donate to the banner that's going to fly over the stadium?
One of the kids just donated a juice box.
Those are very informed kids.
You know their parents are sending them in with those questions.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would. If he was coming to my kid's school. All right, Tommy, this is the one you got to ask him. All right, this is what you need. And then we're good, baby. That's how it's going to be. So we'll see. It's not going to be my school, though, because my kid's school is in the 561. So we're ineligible. Plus, you guys would think I would rig the contest anyway. I'm not going to do that. So that's why you guys need to go to WQAM.com and figure it out. That's how it's got to go. As for the rest of you, I don't know. Ricky Williams made me feel a little better. He's always preaching patience.
Oh, my God. Oh my God. Dude.
That's what I respect about him, you know?
I want
puts it in perspective.
Fight you so
Puts
bad.
it in perspective. Old
Do
Ricky.
you not...
Leroy's fist is out.
Wait. How much did he yell at me? What did you tell me on Monday?
Don't say week one.
You better not say week one. What is the first thing Ricky said?
He said he actually hasn't heard anything. I don't even think Ricky knows the Dolphins lost.
No. He said it's week one. It's better to do it early than late. Is that not what he said?
He knows football.
Oh, yes, Ricky. Yes,
Ricky knows
I
football.
understand, Ricky.
He's a legend.
My...
He knows it. He knows it.
You...
What?
Can I just tell you? I'm going to just say this. You diminish my football
That's
career.
not true. That's not true.
You do.
I don't.
You
That's not
diminish
true.
my
I
football
respect
acumen.
that. That's not true.
Nobody
respects your acumen more than I do.
Your head moved up and down like a bobblehead when Ricky said the same damn thing.
Very
yes,
peaceful.
Ricky.
No,
yes,
that's not what I said.
Yes.
Listen, I respect your football acumen. I'm not going to sit here and you say, no, just because Ricky Williams says something, he's maybe says something a little different. I mean, sometimes it's the messaging, not the messenger.
Oh my God. Brittney, you're new to this, but let me just tell you, right? What has happened here in the last 2 minutes is a travesty. It is a travesty.
It's not a travesty.
Oh, dude, that's right. Leroy loses to technology, but not to humans. I can't. You owe me an apology.
I don't owe you an apology.
You owe me an apology. You should have said, you know what? Leroy said the same thing.
Okay, but you haven't come in this week with that same attitude. So how can I say that you have been on that page?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, That's our show for today.
What do you think they're gonna? They're gonna admit me with my little heart monitor on from dealing with you.
I forgot to ask Ricky what his heart rate was.
Wow, you're exhausting. You are exhausting.
Talk to you rascals tomorrow.